Here we go, people. Here we go. I'm just going to check I'm all live. But yeah, I am absolutely so nervous. I'm bricking it. Just making sure we're actually live. Let me just see, people. Yeah, we are live, people. We are live. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. I hope we're all well. I'm nervous. It's a big game week in the context of this FPL season because two things, really. Firstly, I want to say a massive shout out to the legend that is Ash. Ash, FPL Juice. Happy birthday, Ash, for tomorrow. It's his birthday on Sunday. So give Ash from FPL Juice a very happy birthday, everyone in the chat and anyone watching this back. But hello, I'm Roberto, also known as FPL Yellow Army in the fantasy football community. And this morning, we have got a huge live stream for you people. It's blank game week 34. My free hit is active. I'm going to go through my team. There'll be, hopefully some sort of team leaks for the 3:00 games, but we will see. It doesn't feel likely, but you never know. This is FPL, right? We have to be careful about how we kind of react to those potential bits of news, but there might not be much. So we'll have to see. But my team, I've been tinkering this week on free hit so much this week. It is insane. So yeah, I'm a little bit nervous because the thing with free hit is you second guess yourself so many times and you change things and you say, oh, I like this and I like this combination of players and I like that combination of players. Look, the reality of it is, I think this week is so good for free hit. And it was mentioned on last night's space. Give a shout as well. I got to for Kanji, FPL, Roundtable, FPL, and FPL K-Man, right? Their Twitter space last night was unreal. So good. Like the likes of FPL Focal Oscar joined on. There was the likes of FPL Pickle, who's having a fantastic season. If you don't know FPL Pickle, FPL Raptor Ross, his girlfriend, she is absolutely smashing it. So yeah, fair play. But yeah, we had a really interesting discussion last night, and it's just with free hit, like I think it's the most fun chip, but it's also the most stressful because you have players you move in and move out, and then eventually you'll move away from those players and you'll think, oh, should I just go back to my gut feelings? It's really hard. It's really, really hard, but we just have to go with our gut at the end of the day. And it's my last chip of the season, so I've got to go for it. If I don't go for it, then I'll just think I'll be, feeling what if. For those that have free hit beyond game week 34 and they're saving it for 36, fair play, because I wouldn't be doing that if I was in their shoes, just because there is a chance that the doubles in 36 don't happen. So this was posted by the Premier League article I saw yesterday. I don't know if you guys saw it, so I can read it out for you. But basically what the Premier League said was there is a good chance that there'll be double game week 36, but it's not guaranteed. It is not guaranteed. So there is a chance that matches could actually stay in game week 37. By the way, as well, if you are live joining us, make sure to smash a like on the video, subscribe to the FPL Yellow Army channel, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss an upload. Also, I've got to say, before I talk about game week 36, I really do appreciate the support there was on the recent Match of the Day challenge. It was funny. I was writing my dissertation and it was the perfect weekend to do it, really. It just all sort of fit into place really nicely. And yeah, that was an extreme Match of the Day challenge. I did it 2 days in a row, Saturday night and Sunday night of game week 33. So if you did miss that, make sure to go check it out on my channel. It was, painful to experience, to be honest. But yeah, really good fun. So thanks again for the support there's been recently on that. But as I was saying, do feel free to, get any of your questions in for the deadline in the chat. I'll try and answer them. But the reason I was talking about game week 36 was the Premier League. They posted this article about why matches could stay in game week 37. So if you're, for instance, not free hitting this week and you're banking on there being doubles in 36, just be cautious. Be wary of the fact there might not be doubles, because there is a possibility there could be no more blank or double game weeks this season after blank game week 34. it all depends on the outcome of the FA Cup semi-finals, the first one which is today between Crystal Palace and Aston Villa. So basically, the two postponed weekend matches could, instead of game week 36, still take place in game week 37, but it would just be in the midweek of game week 37. So basically, the chances of a double game week will increase if Aston Villa win against Palace today, because two things really. One thing to know is if Villa win, their game week 37 game against Tottenham would have to be allocated to a new day, and ideally would have to be moved forward, because the thing about the FA Cup, and also you got Europa League as well. So Europa League is the other factor, because Spurs were due to play Villa in game week 37. Spurs, if they reach the Europa League final, their game against Villa simply cannot be scheduled for the midweek of game week 37, even if Villa go out of the FA Cup. So basically, it's because the Europa League final is on Wednesday, the 21st of May. So Wednesday, the 21st of May is where the game week 37 fixture would have slotted in if it was possible to. And so that's not going to work now. So basically, if Villa win today against Palace, the chances of a double game week increase. And yeah, the 37 game would have to be brought forward, most likely. There is a scenario, of course, that Villa go out and Spurs go out in the semi-final, which would mean that the chances of no double game week increase. So watch that space, because if that happens, if Palace win today and if Spurs go out, then there'll be no problem for Villa and Spurs to play in game week 37. So Palace obviously would double, you would imagine, if they win, but basically it's not quite as many doubles as we expect. Like, there's a pretty much guaranteed chance of a double game week, provided that Villa win, because I think only one of Villa or Spurs would have to get through for there to be a double. And so, like, let's say Villa lose, you might think, okay, that's no chance of a Villa double. Not necessarily, because if Spurs go through, they might still have to play the fixture in 36. Does that make sense? Basically, what I'm saying is it's all about the Villa Palace game today. If Villa win, good chance of doubles. If Palace win and Spurs go out, maybe not so much chance of doubles in 36. Hope that will make sense. But I just thought it'd be important to tell you that. Basically, if there was a situation where Spurs did win, Villa and Spurs would have to blank in 37, because they can't play at the weekend and they also can't play in the midweek. So basically, it would be a double game week 36. But yeah, it would be interesting, wouldn't it, if there was no doubles, because it's a possibility. You know, it would depend on the outcome of the semi-finals. So the two postponed matches could take place in the midweek slot of game week 37. So I guess what you'd need is maybe a Palace win, and then let's say a Forest win, and let's say for some reason, whatever reason, Forest couldn't then play in 36. They'd have to get it moved to 37. Then that would mean, sorry, not Forest. Yeah, Forest would play in 37. If Forest got through in the FA Cup, Man City would have a fixture in 37. So most likely there will be doubles in 36, but I'm just saying there's no guarantee, because we only have to look at what happened in game week 33, right? So Nottingham Forest, they had a game on a Monday. I think it was against Spurs in game week 33. Or it was due to be played in game week 33. And that's been sort of, you know, a big factor, because they couldn't then have a second fixture in game week 33. So what they had to do is, instead of moving the extra fixture against Brentford into that game week 33 double, they've had to move it back into 34, right? And they also couldn't move the Brentford game into 36, because if Forest win, they'll already have a double in 36. So basically, the reason they couldn't move it, say, into 35, the Brentford game, for a double game week, is because they had, again, a Monday night fixture on game week 35, Nottingham Forest. So basically, what happened is, even though they're playing FA Cup this weekend and they're blanking, in theory, that meant they surely would have doubled in 33. No, because of the Monday night fixtures. So that's why they're playing against Brentford in game week 34 rather than game week 33. So what I'm saying is, the same scenario could happen with whatever team gets through to the FA Cup final. In theory, they could play the fixture just in 37 if basically nothing clashes. I mean, it does feel a bit weird that, because you've got an FA Cup final at the weekend and then a midweek game after that FA Cup final in the Premier League for the game week, 37 fixture. It does feel a bit weird. Like, surely it just makes more sense for that team to double in 36 and then blank in 37. But I'm just saying it's a possibility. So we've gone through that permutations. Hope that's helpful. What we're going to do now is talk about my free hit team, because we've got less than 2 hours to go till deadline. As I said, do feel free to get your questions in the comments in the live stream. Geddy FPL, thank you for the comment. Good to see you. How's your free hit team looking? Well, I'm going to get to that now, Geddy. So before I do reveal my free hit, make sure to smash a like on the video. Thanks for everyone who's joined. And yeah, just excited for this blank game week. It's going to be swingy, I think. But yeah, before I do reveal my free hit as it stands, things could still change. My decisions have been sort of umming and ahhing the last couple of days. Let me show you how I did in double game week 33. So I'll just quickly get that up for you people. So as I was saying earlier, the match of the day challenge was an absolute nightmare, because I had a decision in game week 33 between two things. It was either take the hit. So I was on bench boost. For those that don't know, I was on bench boost. It was either basically take the hit and sorry, bear with a sec, people. Let me just get this up for you. I mean, this is the thing about this game week, right? It's painful. So I was either going to take a -4. Morning, FPL Don. Good to see you, mate. Either take the -4 and go Saliba, Kivior, and let's say an Mbumo or a Bowen. That was my opportunity. So the first transfer I made, I was so sure I was going to make, was Saka in for Palmer, because I was sick of the sight of Palmer. He's absolutely useless. He's not scored a goal in the Premier League since the 14th of January. Chelsea aren't good enough in the attack. Jackson is just looking rubbish. And I was like, nah, he's got to go, Brev. He's got to go ahead of the Fulham game. So I got that transfer done. Now, between Saka and KDB, the maverick inside me was tempted by KDB, but I just thought, even if he starts both games, those fixtures are not the easiest. Like, Everton have defensively been really strong. Villa, yeah, you could argue that could be a game De Bruyne did well in, but I just wasn't confident with De Bruyne, because I think it was people getting a bit overexcited about the Palace game, seeing that De Bruyne did well against Palace and just thinking, right, now we got to get De Bruyne. No worries, Andrew. Thanks for dropping in, mate. Appreciate it. I hope you do well at work, mate. No, it's good fun. Thanks for coming on. And you'll see you're a moderator on the channel, Andrew. So yeah, have fun with that at some point. But no, thanks for dropping in. Yeah, so De Bruyne really was. I just didn't fancy it. In my bones, I was like, even if he plays both games, his form this season across the season is just not sustainable. Now with Saka, I did think like I wasn't going to captain Saka. And yeah, I've just seen Geddy put in the chat about selling him in 35. I absolutely agree. So I was only going to get, I did notice that. I was like, oh, what's going on? Yeah, no, I knew, Andrew, you got to be a moderator. You're a legend, mate. Absolute legend. I loved your Game Week 34 preview video. Honestly, they're so good. With all the graphics you put up and the memes, it's just brilliant. It's just so good. So give a shout out. I've got to FPL Nightmare. If you haven't already seen his videos, people watching, make sure to check them out. They're so good. But yeah, no, going back to what I was saying with Saka, I just couldn't go without him, because I wasn't going to captain him. This was the thing. In my head, I was like, well, Saka doesn't start the Ipswich game and he starts Palace. And the fact that Arteta chose to start him against Ipswich, I think is pretty wild, to be honest. Like, they didn't need to. Like, they beat them 4-0. Like, they did not need Saka in that game at all. Like, Wanyeri scored when he came on. He could have easily started. But no, Saka starts. And at this point, I'm watching match today. I'm like, right, one of my transfers in, Saka in. Come on, this could be great. And Saka, just unbelievable. The amount of chances he missed and then goes off before 60. It's just FPL folklore at this point. So, look, as a transfer, obviously it's annoying. I brought in Saka for Palmer, but you know, I was always going to do that when I thought he would, you know, potentially start Palace and on penalties. I just fancied him over De Bruyne. And in the end, De Bruyne did outscore him, but only marginally. I think it was like 2 points in it or something. So it is what it is. But at least Saka outscored Palmer. So we'll take that, I suppose. My other transfer, though, this is the bit that pained me in Game Week 33, was I had a decision. So I had, going into Game Week 33, 2 free transfers. So I knew that if I did 3 transfers, it would be a -4. And if I just did 2 transfers, it'd be for free. So what I decided to do was, as I said, Saka in for Palmer. And then it was a decision between the defenders. And I was like, realistically, long-term, Arsenal defence, I've got to have it. I've got Raya already. Let's make Saliba one of our transfers. Because I was just a little bit worried about Calafiori, to be honest, because there was sort of murmurings, would Calafiori come back soon? And so I just didn't think Kivior was necessarily nailed. And it's so annoying. I was like, Saliba and Murphy with no -4, who I'd already had Murphy, and he'd, done really well for me in Game Week 32. And I was like, well, he's in the form of his life. Surely he does well against Villa. Villa can't seem to keep many clean sheets. It's quite rare they do, although actually they have been quite decent in Game Week 30, and they kept a clean sheet against someone else, I think, Southampton, because I got my Martinez clean sheet points in 32. But yeah, I was just looking at that, and I was just like, yeah, I mean, realistically, I've got to get an Arsenal defender. So I went for Saliba, and I did have the money to then get a -4 player for Murphy. The problem is, but by going Saliba, it meant I can only afford like a 6.2 million or under midfielder. And I just hated all the options. I just thought Kovacic, I don't think he's going to play. I had, looks at Alanga, and I didn't think he would play. Well, he could play, but I didn't know if he'd return. He, of course, got 4 points because he got the assist against Spurs. I looked at potentially, Kovacic. I mean, Kovacic was one where everything told me that it was a bad pick, but I was just like, is he going to play both? Probably not. He did just score against Palace, but it's just so annoying how it's played out, man. It's just so frustrating because literally any player, if I'd have replaced Murphy, would have outscored him. I mean, it was so painful. And this is the other thing, like Saliba over Kivior is a logical decision that makes sense. And I thought -4 for Murphy when he's in the form of his life, it looked great. And then Newcastle had an absolute stinker in that Villa game. So poor. At least I did sell Livramento. So I sold Livramento for Saliba. So it was a gain on that. Obviously Saliba finishing in the end on 7. So pretty good in the end, even if Saliba, had that shocker in the Palace game. But it's frustrating when I think about it because it would have been Kivior and Mbumo. And then when Kivior scores, I'm actually fuming. I'm like, what the hell? Like, Kivior hadn't scored a goal for like a whole year. And this is the week he decides to score when it's like a 50-50 between him and a doubler, or him and Mbumo versus a Saliba and a Murphy without taking the hit. So yeah, it was tough to take, to be honest. It was a tough game to take. But you know what? 73 was a green arrow. That's all we needed. A green arrow, 3 green arrows in a row now. So we're up to 93.9k. Pretty happy with that, to be honest. So top 50k potentially in reach, but I'm also wary. I don't want to risk too much and then drop out the top 100k. So I have to kind of be careful about what I do here from here on in. Getty FPL says he thinks Villa beats Palace. Interesting. I agree with you, to be honest. I think Villa are a better side right now. I do think Villa win, which would be good for double game week 36, right? If Villa win. So it will be interesting. It will be. So yeah, I don't know. Let's see. But Raya at least got me a clean sheet in the first game. But what was he doing in the Palace? Like, his performance in Palace game was probably his worst game in an Arsenal shirt. He was just all over the place. And yes, Mateta's goal is absolutely insanely good, but Raya just looked so lethargical and lackadaisical. It was just amazing. Be great for 36 free hit, giving him the upper hand. Now, you say about that, Andrew. You say about that, but watch back when you get a chance. Watch back the start of my stream because I talk through double game week 36, and I just say if Palace win today, and if certain results go a certain way, there might not be any doubles in 36, and then your free hit will be in the mud. So just be wary of that. But yeah, if the double does happen, it's a very much if, buts, and maybes at this point because we need to know those FA Cup semi-final results. But if the doubles do happen, they could be decent. If it's for Forest, like Chris Wood, Leicester and West Ham, beautiful. if Man City win, this is the problem with Man City. And this is why I think free hit 36 or bench boost 36. I don't know. I'm just a little bit hesitant on it because with players like Marmoush, he might not get both games in the double because by then Haaland might be back. This is the issue. So that what 3 City are you going to go for? Like you could go for De Bruyne, but is he going to show the form? Yeah, that's true. That is true. Yeah, no, it's a fair point, Andrew. 100%. Like the teams with single fixtures still have good fixtures. And yeah, exactly like you say, 3 hit 38 as a backup. The problem with 3 hit 38 is there's often rotation on the final day, so it's tricky. But no, I get what you're saying. It could still be decent, but I think we just got to wait and see before making any decisions regarding FA Cup. So people with no chips are praying for a Palace win. Oh, absolutely, Divanch. So I've got no chips after 34. So realistically, I want a Palace win because that will, ruin double game week 36. But at the same time, I don't really want Palace to win because I just don't like Palace. Sorry, but there's a thing with Watford. Like we just do not like Crystal Palace, and we don't really like Aston Villa much either because Villa are the team that stayed up on the final day. We were the one that got relegated. But actually, the kind of the hurt goes deeper with Palace for Watford fans. It's that FA Cup semi-final in 2016, the playoff final in 2013. It goes deep. So yeah, if there's one team I'd have to see win today, it would definitely be Villa. Yeah, European slots up for grabs. That's a true point, Nightmare. But yeah, let's see. We'll have to see. There's a lot of football to be played before then. So, but going back to 33's results, yeah, Raya 7 points. You know what? He got the clean sheet in the first game. And this is why I was pretty happy with double Arsenal defence because we know they're the best defence in the league this season. So I'm pretty happy with double Arsenal defence, the way it delivered, 14 points. Can't complain with the Saliba transfer. Munoz, though, I did not see a clean sheet against Bournemouth at all. I thought Bournemouth would definitely win that Palace game, even with Palace triple, that I had to have them really with the double game week. For a hit, Andrew, interesting. I don't know about taking a hit for any Wolves player, to be honest. Wolves are just like I'll have them on free hit, sure, because it's Leicester, but I don't know, man. I don't think Cunha from -4 is worth it because there are rumors of Cunha not even starting today. Like, imagine you take a -4 for him and he's on the bench. Like, I don't know. And Ait Nouri, as much as he's brilliant going forward, would it surprise me if Leicester scored today? Absolutely not. Like, I know Leicester are terrible, but Vardy still exists. And I know Vardy is a bit of a, romantic thing because he's now leaving. But I wouldn't be surprised if Wolves conceded. So taking a hit for a Wolves player, I don't know. If I had to take one of those for a hit, it would actually be Ait Nouri, to be honest, just because of how poor Leicester are generally going forward. And I'm not 100% sure about Cunha, whether he starts. So if I had to take a hit for a one, I'd probably go Ait Nouri, but I wouldn't feel great about it. Getty FPL, what would have been poor this season? Oh, absolutely, Getty. There's no doubt. We've been rubbish. We've been absolutely stinking. We've got our last away game of the season today. We're up at Ewood Park. Cunha it is. Hashtag Roberto's tepid takes. You know what, Andrew? I'm going to get hashtag Andrew's tepid takes started because you made the claim that triple captain Isak 32 was bad and bench boost 33 was bad. Well, I just have to show you, mate. 173 points in the last 2 game weeks. I mean, take that L. Look, all jokes aside, Andrew, it's all good. I know you're just bantering, but the thing about bench boost 32 was I just didn't like it at all because you saw what happened, right? Forest, they've recently defensively not been great. And Brighton, do I trust them defensively? No. And I know that Leicester scoring 2 was so unlucky and Everton conceding right at the end. My bench boost score was 73. So the actual bench I got 16 in the end, which I was pretty happy with. So I think you got, was it 19? So not far off. So yeah, I've got a question from, Geddy said, from the embargo quotes, looks like Cunha starts. Yeah, that's the thing. The thing about Cunha, if he doesn't start, would he have a chance of coming off the bench and still getting 3 bonus? Like, this is the thing about Cunha. He's a bonus points magnet. So I think going with if you're on free hit, for instance, going without Cunha for me, 19 points. I mean, celebrate your 3 extra points, Andrew. Celebrate your 3 extra points. So it's fair enough. No, fair enough. You had a good bench boost, but the thing is, like, how did you do in game week 33? Because I was hearing on your video you slipped a bit. So just saying, 3 green arrows in a row, mate. No, I'm just joking. But basically, what was I saying? Oh yeah, so Geddy said about the embargo quote. So yeah, so I was listening to this space with who I was saying earlier. So the likes of FPL Pickle. So Pickle is probably going to go without Cunha, is what she was saying, because she just feels he's going to get benched, which I don't necessarily disagree with. The thing about Cunha is, right, there's been a lot of rumours about attitude problems, whether or not that's reliable, I don't know. But obviously, he wants to. Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough, Andrew. I know you've been smashing it this season, so it is easier to get greens with a lower ranking. But you know what? I've had such a hard season. It's been a very roller coaster season, and there was points where I thought I'd give up this season because my rank, everything was going against me. But you know what? It just shows that you can still get potentially top 50k, and I think the way this season's gone, I'd be very happy with that. You'll stop hijacking my stream for now. No worries, mate. No, it's all good. It's all good. No, what was I saying? Yeah, Cunha. So basically, I think there's a chance he doesn't start. But imagine you go without Cunha on a free hit, and then he gets subbed on and does what he did against Tottenham, remember, not too long ago, gets a goal. As soon as Cunha scores, he's getting free bonus. That's it. That's it, because he's just amazing for BPS. I mean, strikers in general are amazing for BPS, but especially Cunha. Cunha is the BPS magnet. Let's not forget this, people. So he doesn't need to start games to be worth owning. So, like, if you were not on free hit, for instance, I'd probably swerve Cunha, because long term, I think I prefer like a Chris Wood or a Wissa. But for this week on a free hit, a home to Leicester. Yeah, if you took him out, and as Geddes just said, if you took him out on a free hit and he starts, you are going to be kicking yourself because he's scoring a brace. He is absolutely scoring a brace. So, yeah, I think if you're on a free hit, go for it. If you're not, maybe not. Best midfield, Max asks on a free hit. So we'll get to this when I talk about my team. I'll just quickly get through the rest of my 33. Let's see if we've got any other best free hit defenders. We'll get to that. What else have we got in the chat? Is Strand Larsen better than Cunha? Well, that's a good question. It's a good question. Oh, thanks for that, Divance. Really helpful. Yeah, so the quotes, he's committed, he's our player, and he's committed. He has the mentality to help the team. So, yeah, that quote does sound promising on Cunha. Oi, oi. Hello, Marcelo. I know you're going to Wembley today. Hope Crystal Palace, do a prime bottling and crash out. No, I'm obviously joking. I'm obviously joking. Yeah, it's Myla Sarr, to be fair. If there's one player that could win it for you, then it's Myla Sarr is that player. Because he's a big game player. He does it against the big teams. So he's scoring a brace today. No, is Myla Sarr scoring a brace today, not Raul Jimenez. Look, Raul Jimenez, I'll get to that when I talk about my team, but trust me, he's a trap. I'm telling you now, people. Raul Jimenez, you heard it here first, is an FPL trap for Blank Game Week 34, and we'll get to why, right? But no, good to see you, Marcelo. All jokes aside, what was I saying? Yeah, so the rest of my 33 team. So Munoz, how he got a clean sheet against Bournemouth, I will never quite know. I honestly don't know. But we'll take it. Obviously, was not expecting anything against Arsenal. Good that he played, so that was at least something. Now, Josko Vardiol, frustrating, but at least he got a clean sheet against Everton, right? So we got to kind of take the positives from this. Another 7-pointer. City defensively, though, I'm not sure I trust them, to be honest. Like, if you're going for a player outside of Vardiol, if you're going for a Nunes, or you're going for a... Actually, Nunes is a midfielder, isn't he, in the game? So he's just not an option. He's just really not an option. But like, if you're going for another City defender, they're just a problem. Like Ruben Diaz, I mean, what was he doing against Villa? That penalty was just rubbish. Like, it's just so clumsy from him. Like, City are just going to let you down. If you go all in on City defense from 35 onwards, yes, they might double in 36, but yeah, they just don't get those clean sheets. Oh, I absolutely am happy. So that's the other thing about this double game week 33. As painful as it was when it came to the attacking returns, which we're going to get to in a second, clean sheet wise, it was absolutely glorious. Like, there was clean sheets galore, people. Like Raya, Munoz, Saliba, Vardiol. Beautiful, beautiful stuff. Now, let's get to the more negative part of game week 33. So as I mentioned, I didn't take the -4 to replace Murphy. I kept Murphy, and his blank, it killed me. It really did kill me. Yeah, that's the thing, Divanch. Like, people forget Fulham drew 0-0 in the reverse game with Southampton. Like, could it happen again? I'm just saying. Which would be great if you got Sessegnon, but not so good if you got Raul Jimenez. But yeah, no, look, going back to this, midfield wise in 33, it was just painful, man. Murphy, he was in such good form. It didn't make sense to take him out. And of course, Harvey Barnes is the one that gets the assist. It's just like, nah, there's no need. Now, this is the thing about 34, which we're going to get onto. Is it worth taking out Murphy when he's been in such good form? Because if you're predicting minutes for the game against Ipswich, I think Murphy plays the most, genuinely, because yes, Barnes has been in fantastic form, but he's also been playing a lot of minutes recently, right? And Gordon hasn't been playing those minutes. And really, Gordon and Murphy are competing for the same spot. Sorry, let me rephrase that. Gordon and Barnes are competing for the same spot. Absolutely, because they play on the left. Well, the thing is, Barnes can play on the right, but I think it's one of Gordon or Barnes. Because Murphy's place in that side surely has to be fairly safe. Because he's been great all season. Now, you could argue who's played the most minutes out of all three. Well, it's Murphy. But the thing that Howe always says is he likes rhythm. He likes momentum. And how many weeks have Newcastle played the same team for 6 weeks running? Now, I know they did kind of lose heavily, and he might think, do I change it up? But what you got to remember is because Howe wasn't there for those last few games and he was in hospital. Great to see he's back out of hospital now as well. Shout out to you, Eddie Howe. Like, why would he change it? Because Barnes has been absolutely excellent, and so has Murphy. As much as Gordon's great, and as much as they might be tired, like, Newcastle have only got Premier League games. Like, when Murphy was playing alongside Barnes, that was sort of quite close to when they had, other games in the Champions League, right? Sorry, not Champions League. Carabao Cup, I should say. Ignore what I just said. So, like, what you got to remember is the Carabao Cup, they've rested, players around that. So players like, FPL Pickle, what a legend. What a legend. Thanks for joining. I appreciate it. I was just talking earlier on the stream about your amazing season. You're absolutely smashing it. So, like, I don't want to say that you're the FPL, the FPL legend, but, your rank shows you know what you're doing. Like, you are absolutely schooling us at the moment. So your point about Cunha is very valid. I think there's a chance he doesn't play. But going back to what I was saying with Murphy, how annoyed will I be in 34 if I take out Murphy because it's Ipswich? And who do I think is going to get more minutes? I don't know, man. Woke up late because that space. I know that's the thing, Pickle. It went for so long. I don't think I got to bed till about 1 o'clock in the morning. Like, and I'm sure there might be some people that went even later than me. I had to hop off because I was falling asleep, honestly. Not because of how interesting the chat was. Of course, it was fantastic, but genuinely, I was knackered. But no, it was a brilliant space. Yeah, going back to this, it is a headache. I'll be honest, it is a headache who that Newcastle mid is. But going back to 33, Murphy blanking, man, that just killed me. But maybe a redemption arc. This is the redemption arc for Murphy. We keep him in and he delivers. Because as much as it's tempting to go Barnes based on Barnes' electric form recently, who's more likely to start the game? I think it has to be Murphy, honestly. Like, but Barnes could start, but then because Gordon's now back, I think there's more chance Barnes gets an early sub than Murphy. This is the thing. So, I don't know. I think Murphy's probably the most safe at the moment. But Salah, can we just talk about Mo Salah for a minute? Oh my gosh. Hitting both posts against Leicester. That was just unbelievable, man. Like, come on. It's just incredible. It's incredible stuff, really. So, yeah, Salah, so unlucky to not get a return. I think he hit the post about 3 times because he had that shot where he had both posts hit. And he had the shot, I think, or it might have been a header in the lead up to the Trent goal. So, the Salah owners, honestly, we can count ourselves so unlucky. And I think, yeah, this is the thing, Marcelo. This week, Salah's going to cook. And if people go without Salah on their free hits, they are insane because he is the best captaincy for this week. No doubt. No doubt in my mind. Spurs are terrible defensively. This is a game that is so well suited for Salah to just demolish them. And let's not forget 21 points in the reverse fixture. 21 points, 2 goals, 2 assists for Mo Bloomin' Salah. All right. So let's not forget the guy is the FPL GOAT and he wants to win Liverpool the title, right? And I know that all they need to do is draw on Sunday, right? So they could look at it and say, you know, why do we need to go for it? A draw is enough. And this is the other thing as well. Will Liverpool keep a clean sheet? My gut is telling me no for some reason. But I also understand the fact that Spurs this season are so disinterested in the rest of the league, in the rest of the season, because it's all about their game in the Europa League. So I kind of think Spurs are pretty terrible, but they just also scored against Forest, who are a very good defense. So I don't know. But yeah, look, Salah was frustrating, but this is the week he's going to get 3 goals. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised. Saka, painful. We talked about him. Sarr, Ismaila Sarr. Frustrating, man. I mean, Eze misses the penalty in 32, and I was laughing. I was like, come on. And Sarr that did the business with that assist in the game against Man City. And yeah, it was good. The Sarr owners, won Gameweek 32. But unfortunately, even with Eze blanking in the first game against Bournemouth, Eze won in 33. So look, fair play. Yeah, that's the thing. Liverpool fixture, there's a lot of good fixtures for defenders, and they only need a draw. That's the thing. That's what I'm thinking. But I also think Spurs are just terrible, and Liverpool are just the great defense across the season. So would a Trent goal or a Van Dijk goal or a clean sheet surprise me? It wouldn't. So this is the thing I have to deliberate. Is Liverpool defense worth it? It could be. But going without Salah and Isak is suicide. Exactly. 100% Divianch. 100%. For your FPL rank, it is silly to do. I think Salah, and also the other thing we've got to factor into Salah captaincy, I think Trent starts this weekend. I genuinely do. Why would Trent not start? Tell me why. Because Connor Bradley wasn't great. I know he got me my clean sheet on the bench boost, which I'm going to be happy about, of course, but he wasn't great against Leicester. And Trent, after the goal against Leicester, Liverpool can win the league. He's a Liverpool lad. They want to win it in front of their fans for the first time. Trent's going to start, man. So it's just whether or not you think Trent plays enough minutes. Because could Trent be subbed off? Very likely, I think. I think Bradley could come on for him. So, you've got to think, is it worth it? Is it worth the risk? When he's that high upside, maybe it is. I just have to weigh up in my mind, do I prefer Van Dijk, who could get a bullet header, or do I prefer Trent? It's tricky. But the rest of the midfield, yeah, as I said, just everyone in the midfield blanking. It was unbelievable. The forward line, though. Now, this forward line was pretty painful too. So I captained Marmoush. And at least Marmoush outscored Saka, right? And that was the thing I was always thinking about with captaincy. I wasn't confident that Saka would get enough minutes across the double for me to consider captaining him. But it's still annoying because Marmoush blanked. At least he outscored Saka, but obviously De Bruyne somehow got the clean sheet point, so he got more than Marmoush for captaincy. But it's frustrating because Marmoush could have easily hauled. Like the chance against Everton that Pickford saved, the offside goal in the game against Villa. He was never going to get that assist, though, by the way, for Bernardo Silva. Never in a million years, because it makes a clear touch off Konza. So, But, yeah, I don't know. It was just one of those weeks where everything went wrong. It was just one of those weeks. But the fact that everything went wrong and I still got a green arrow, still got a pretty decent score of 73. I've seen a few free hits that didn't get past 73. So I feel like the bench boosts have won in 33 against the free hitters. It's just about now whether those without free hit and 34 win against the free hitters. Because if this game week's a generational game week of a stinker of a game week, then the free hitters are going to be in the mud. But I think honestly, the way these fixtures look, they look fun to attack on a free hit. So, right, let's see some of your comments, people. What have we got? So Max says Palmer will haul this week. I don't know, man. I don't know. He's not scored since the 14th of January. And Everton, I know Tarkowski's out injured, but Everton are still a really good defence. They're the 4th best defence in the league. So I wouldn't be so sure of Palmer hauling, honestly. Marcelo, trust me on Palmer. I don't know. I can't go there, honestly. Geddy, how's your free hit looking, Roberto? My dilemma is Leno, Trippier, Sessegnon, Pope. To be honest, Geddy, I've had that same dilemma. So we'll get to that in a second. Just bear with me 1 second. Remember Lukaku? Yeah, I know, Lukaku. Liverpool will concede and Trent walks away with 2 points. Very possible, very possible. But he also could haul and get a clean sheet and an attacking return. So it's tough. Marcelo says he's gone for Sessegnon Pope. Sessegnon against Southampton, if he gets 60, will be crazy. Yeah, true. But are you confident that Southampton don't score? Because even if Sessegnon comes off on, say, 61, will Southampton have scored by then? I don't honestly think it's impossible for Southampton to score because as much as they are relegated, they're at home. And I don't know if I trust Fulham's defence, genuinely. The XGC conceded is not bad, but they just always seem to let one in. Like, you watched the Chelsea game the other weekend, you thought, surely that's a clean sheet. And they let in 2 goals. I just wouldn't be surprised if Southampton score. So I do really like the Sessegnon pick, but if there's doubts over him starting, and if we don't think, well, I personally don't think Southampton, don't score anyway. I think they might score. So, yeah, it's tempting. It is because he's playing right winger, Sessegnon. So the upside is huge if they get a clean sheet or if he gets clean sheet subbed off at the right time. So will be interesting to see. Will be interesting. Marcelo, no Newcastle defender. Trippier, maybe. Yeah, Livramento or Fabian Schär, who Schär might play. I think he will. I think he probably will. But on a free hit, when there's that doubt, you probably don't go for Fabian Schär. I don't know. Trent or Sessegnon for Divanch. Yeah, fair enough. Risky to go with both. Yeah, that's the thing. I think you have to go with either Trent or Sessegnon because they both feel a bit risky. Trippier, Barnes, Trippier, not Barnes or Murphy. Wow. So are you going for double Newcastle defence, Marcelo? This is the thing. One goal from Ipswich and your game week's ruined, man. Like, your game week is ruined. At least with going for a Newcastle defender or a Pope and just one of those two, you could get an attacking return from Livramento or Trippier or Schär if he's playing, or you can get save points even if Newcastle concede. So I don't know. I'm just not one of those managers that likes to put lots of eggs in one basket. Like, if Newcastle concede, I will just be so miserable. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know about double defense. M Max says Palmer 4 goals against Everton earlier in the season, albeit different manager. Yeah, but this is the thing. Like, people can say that, but Chelsea are worse this season than they were last season. Like, under Poch, they were fantastic. Under Maresca, they've been rubbish. It's genuinely the truth. And Everton last season were a worse defense than they are this season. 100%. This season, Everton have been really good defensively. Like, their numbers have been great. Like, you've got to remember, they've kept clean sheets against Arsenal away. I kept a clean sheet against, who else was it? They kept clean sheets against some good sides, man. And if they kept a clean sheet against Chelsea, would it surprise me? Absolutely not. The way Chelsea are going at the moment, absolutely not. And I know this is a big game for Chelsea for the Champions League, but I just think, like, outside of Neto, maybe, did any Chelsea attackers scare me? Not really. Genuinely, not really. I just think, like, Michael Keane will probably come in. So it'll be Keane, Branthwaite, Mikolenko. It's not terrible. It's genuinely not terrible. And also, let's not forget, Chelsea have not, other than that game last season, Chelsea have not often had it good against Everton, have they? Like, Everton seem to be their bogey team. I remember this. Like, it would help if the game is at Goodison, of course, but I vividly remember that Chelsea just, well, it's not remembering. It's just watching Chelsea this season with Sanchez in goal. Like, would I be surprised if Sanchez conceded? Absolutely not, because Sanchez just makes mistakes, and Pickford I rate over Sanchez at this point. So yeah, no, look, if Pickford does, have a worldy performance, I think Palmer blanks. He's confident, Marcelo, of Southampton not scoring. Interesting. But this is the thing. Like, if you look back at Southampton's home games this season, how many games have they just got a late consolation goal? Like, a lot of games. So I don't think it's a nailed-on clean sheet for Fulham. Genuinely. If Getty is picking Leno instead of Sessegnon, I think go for Sess. Yeah, I think that's true. If you're going to go for one of the Fulham defensive options, I think Leno is just not as fun. Like, Sessegnon could get a 0-pointer or a 1-pointer, but where's the fun in Leno? Like, I think Sessegnon, the upside is just massive if he starts. It's just a big question: does he start? Double Newcastle defense. I don't know, man, Marcelo. I'm not sure about it. Murphy and Barnes been on form. Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. I just think Murphy and Barnes are in such good form. I just don't think I'd be going double Newcastle defense because I'd want one of Murphy or Barnes. I think surely one of them starts. There's no way that both Murphy or Barnes is benched. Absolutely not. Because who are they gonna play? Gordon and like who else have they got? So I think we have to kind of take a punt on one of Murphy or Barnes starting, and whoever does start, I think they could absolutely cook this week with points. Genuinely. Adam S says Bowen captain. Absolutely not. Absolutely. Like, look, Brighton defensively are terrible, but so are West Ham. And people forget the fact that West Ham is 17th. They're 17th in the league. Like, I just don't trust West Ham as far as I can throw them. Like, Brighton, if you're talking to me about a Welbeck captaincy, that's a bit better. But Bowen, like, I know he scored last week, but it was Southampton. Like, I just think West Ham are just, let's not forget, as unlikely as this is, there is a chance if West Ham lose all of their remaining games, which the way they've gone under Potter wouldn't be a massive surprise. Now, the big surprise would be then Ipswich needing to win all of their remaining games, but one of those games is against West Ham. Then West Ham are relegated. Now, I know that won't happen because Ipswich are not beating Newcastle, but point being is that's just a reflection of just how poor West Ham have been. They've been pretty poor defensively as well. Like, I know people are saying they've been okay, but when you're not keeping clean sheets at home to Southampton, there's a problem. Like, come on. So I know that this is obviously, I've said about Fulham keeping a clean sheet, but the difference is that's an away game for Fulham. If you're at home against Southampton, you should be keeping clean sheets. I'm sorry, but you should. So I just think I'm not fancying Bowen. I'm not fancying Bowen. Marcelo says Newcastle are playing a farmers team. Championship level players. Newcastle need Champions League. I don't see them slacking. Oh, I agree. I 100% agree with you, Marcelo. I think Newcastle destroy Ipswich. But I just think, is there a chance they destroy them 3-1 or 4-1? I think there is. And the big factor is Delap. If Delap was out injured, I would probably be more keen on double Newcastle defence. But with Delap likely to start, I mean, let's have a look at some predicted lineups quickly. Because one person I trust when it comes to this is Neil from Fantasy Football Scout. He is very reliable when it comes to team news and predicted lineups. So I'm just going to have a look for you people about whether Delap is going to start. Because if he is, then I agree that I think double us Newcastle attack is better. Oh, that's interesting. I've just had a look at his predicted lineup. He's not got Delap to start. Interesting. But the thing is, like, I just think Pope's. Yeah, Pope is good. Pope is good because there's not many keepers that are great. But I also don't mind Kepa. I also don't mind Sells. You could potentially go for Jose Sarr, but everyone's going to have like Nuri. So do I want to double up on Wolves defense? Nah. Yeah, I don't hate it. I don't hate the Pope pick. But then doubling up, I just think if Hurst scores a goal, your game week's ruined. Your game week's ruined. But if you go for just Pope and you go for attacking defenders and Newcastle concede, then fine. Pope could still save a pen or get some save points. But if you go for a Newcastle defender and Pope, your game week's finished, man. Your game week is finished. And put it this way, with Ipswich, do I think they are a worse attack or a worse defence? The answer is worse defence. So that's why I think a Newcastle double up in attack, it just makes sense. Like, they are capable of scoring. And I know that Newcastle probably do keep a clean sheet, but Ipswich are not a terrible attack. Like, they're genuinely not. They are a better attack when they're at home. Outside of the Arsenal game, they were dreadful going forward. But you've got to remember, this is a game where Ipswich have got to win. They've got to win. As I said, the only way they stay up is to win this game. And Newcastle are going to demolish them, agree. But could they score? Maybe. Yeah, and Max makes a good point. Arsenal were lucky not to concede against Ipswich because Ipswich did have chances. But at the same time, I also think Arsenal were pretty confident of a clean sheet. So I don't know. It's tough. Because there could be a rotation for the Newcastle attackers. We know this. But if you pick the right one, then it could be glorious. It really, really could be glorious. So it's a tricky one. It is a tricky one. But regarding the rest of the 33 team, I'm still talking about 33, and I will get to my free hit team. I promise. Mateta is a legend. So, like, if there was one player that scored for Palace today, if you have to win, Marcelo, then Mateta is the one. I love that man. Boom, 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 boom. Mateta's in the room. Honestly, he's fantastic. He's so good. Yeah, that goal was absolutely delicious. Even though I had double Arsenal defense, that goal helped me out so much, Mateta. So, thank you, mate. And then we've already talked about Marmoush Blanc, and then Isak. I mean, Isak, he just was non-existent against Villa. And this is the thing I'm worried about when it comes to Newcastle attack, because yes, they've been brilliant recently, but it's been hard to call where the goals have been spread. So, like, as much as it's interesting, you know, you'd think Isak's a lock, and he probably is still. But could Newcastle beat Ipswich 5-1 or 5-0 and Isak gets one goal? Is it worth it when Strand Larsen could get 3? This is the thing I have to deliver. But the thing is, like, Isak's ownership is going to be so big. So going without him, I just think it's crazy. I think it's crazy. I think there's more of a conversation about going without Cunha than there is going without Isak. So, yeah, show your team. All right, Marcelo, I'll get there. I'm going to get there, mate. The bench boost, though, very happy with how the bench boost went. 16 points on the bench boost. Martinez, 4 points. You know what? We'll take that. Rodgers was 7. So the irony is, people, I got a 73-pointer, and that was with 1 goal, 1 assist in the entire team. So considering all of that, I'm pretty happy with the green arrow, honestly. But yeah, Rodgers got me basically, I thought was going to be my only attacking return of the game week. Get the team up. Mate, we still got an hour to deadline. We've got ages to go. 0 from Digne. Yeah, fair enough. And 5 from Bradley. All right, you've got to get to work. I'll get the team up. So this is how my free hit is looking as things stand. Now, it could change. It could absolutely change. But at the moment, we have got Pope in goal, because I know what I said about Newcastle defence, but I also did look at the clean sheet odds this week. And with Delap out, the best clean sheet odds of any team this game week is Newcastle. So I think that Newcastle defensive asset is probably sensible. But is it 2? That's the question. Game week 34 will be over by the time he puts my team up. Yeah, all right. I had to build it up, you know. I had to build it up. But yeah, we're currently ranked at 93k. So I've taken a few differential punts here. I've taken a few differential punts. Yeah, Team Cliver. Yeah, we love to see it, Marcelo. We love to see it. It's got to be done, really, hasn't it? But we'll get to him in a second. But Pope. I don't know. Let's think about this. Is Pope a bad shout? The thing is, right, goalkeepers this week aren't great. We just have to be sort of frank about it, and that's the reality of the situation. Evan Nilsson over Welbeck for Andrew. But the thing is, Welbeck's on penalties, and I'll get to talk about Welbeck. So I'll let me just go player by player here. Raul does not outscore Welbeck. We're going to get to that, Marcelo. We're going to get to that. Trippier, though. Trippier has got 1 assist all season, Max. 1 assist all season, and he's 34. He's finished. Now, look, let me talk about each player. So, Pope in goal. The other options on my list of potentials is Kepa, because I honestly think people are overlooking Bournemouth defence this week. I mean, United cannot score to save their life. The only thing will be if Bruno turns up. But let's not forget, what was the score in the reverse game? Manchester United 0, AFC Bournemouth 3. Would it surprise me if Bournemouth gets a clean sheet? Absolutely not. So it's why Kirkes is there. Now, Kirkes, I'm not seeing in any free hits, which I think is wild. Honestly, I genuinely do. So this is the thing, and I know Marcelo, you just said about Liverpool defence. Yeah, not gonna lie. Yeah, he's a nice little punt. Stacking theory, not for me. Not for me. Nightmare. I'm one that likes to hedge my bets across the game week, because if one thing goes wrong, then the whole thing will go wrong. Whereas if I, hedge my bets, then I've got more chance to get points across the game week, I think. So Pope for me makes more sense, because if I compare Pope, that's exactly it. Geddy, you've said Dalot's out, so Dalot's out for Man United, which I think is massive. So Kirkes could be brilliant. But with Newcastle defence, so you're looking at Pope, Livramento, Trippier, and Cher. Now, Cher, do we know 100% without a doubt that he starts today? Because if we do, then tell me. If someone could tell me in the chat, we know 100% that he starts. So let me talk to you, Andrew, about penalties. You said about Welbeck being on pens, but then you don't have Mbeumo, Bowen, or Palmer. The reason I don't is because 2 things: fixtures and form. Man United is a great fixture, so I'm having Clivert. Fixtures-wise, there's nothing better than Leicester at home, so I'm having Cunha. Fixtures-wise, nothing better than Ipswich at home, so I'm having Isak. Fixtures-wise, West Ham are only just outside the bottom 3, so I'll have Welbeck, and he's also on penalties. Now, with Mbeumo, I do agree that he's a great pick this week, but he's a great pick, I think, for the non-free hitters, because let's not forget, Forest are an elite defence. They just are. Like, they are elite defence. 100% sure Diaz starts. Yes, I am. He's starting. He's starting tomorrow. 100%. Mbeumo and Wissa, that's some great transfers, Andrew. 100% great transfers. But on a free hit, I think I'm going to go fixtures. I'm going to go purely home games, and I'm going to go fixtures because I've got to attack it. Now with Mbeumo, he could haul for sure, 100%. Because recently, although they've been great all season, Forest, recently they've dropped off a little bit defensively. I agree, they have. And they could have played 120 minutes, true. But also, the way I look at it is, I prefer the fixtures for the other players. Like, if that game finished 1-0 Forest, it would not surprise me. Let's not forget, they kept a clean sheet, Forest, in the reverse game against Brentford. And Sells had an absolute masterclass. So, the fact that Forest are at home, they are generally quite good when it comes to defensive performances in home games. If you take away the Everton game, they're pretty good. They're pretty hard to break down. So I think if Forest does lose, Pope Master says, they'll only have Prem to play, so surely they bounce back strong. Exactly. So, like, if City win, which I think they will tomorrow, to be honest, tomorrow, then they have to go for this game, and I think they'll be strong and they'll keep a clean sheet. So, look, Mbumo's, I'm not going to say he's a bad pick, 100%, but I also think on a free hit, I'm going to chance that he blanks. Now, Bournemouth have been rubbish. Yep, I absolutely agree with you, Divyant, and it's been a while since Kluivert's got a return. But what it comes down to is Man United are more rubbish than Bournemouth. And Bournemouth have still got a lot to play for. I'm seeing people say that Bournemouth are, on the beach. That, for me, is absolutely nonsense. Because 9th or 10th this season can get Europa Conference. So Bournemouth are well in the mix. Bournemouth are well in the mix. Bowen over Welbeck? No, not for me. Not for me, Andrew, because I think I prefer that 4 in midfield to Bowen. And I don't want to be trusting West Ham because I just don't trust them. Brighton are at home. And Welbeck, let me tell you about Welbeck in a second. But going through the rest of my defence, so I talked about Pope. Kirkes, I've said, I don't think United score. United are terrible in offence. So I think Kirkes' clean sheet is very possible. Ait-Nouri's a lock, as he is for a lot of teams, because so attacking, Leicester fixture, makes sense. And then Virgil. Big Verge. Why are you getting doubts about Kluivert? Why are you getting doubts, Marcelo? Kluivert's playing Man United. Man United are trash, all right? So relax. Man United will score on the counter against Bournemouth. Yeah, potentially. But this is why I've got a backup defender. So I'll talk about him in a second. So I've gone for Virgil at the moment, just because, are we 100% sure Trent starts? Like 100%? I don't think so. Like maybe 60-40 that he starts. But bring in Joel Linton. Nope. I'm not going to do that. I feel alive enough with this team, to be honest, Andrew. I think there's a few risks here, which is good. I think if you say take out Pope, who's better than Pope in goal this week? Tell me. I'd like to know. Yeah, there is always goals in Liverpool Spurs. It was 6-3 last time. But remember, it was 6-3 and Trent got an assist in that game. So Trent could be an option. Also, the last time Liverpool played Spurs at Anfield, Liverpool kept a clean sheet. Do you know what the score was? 4-0, Virgil header. This is the thing as well. I've looked at recent Spurs games. They're conceding a lot of headers. They conceded a header against Nottingham Forest. They're just terrible from set pieces. I mean, most teams are this season, to be fair, but I don't know. Now, the thing you say about Jose Sarr, I can't get behind Jose Sarr, Andrew, because I'm going to have Ait-Nouri. Would I be surprised if Jamie Vardy scored to wipe out a double Wolves clean sheet defence? Not at all. Not at all. I think Ait-Nouri is the only defensive pick you can have for Wolves. Because would it surprise you if Bentley started? And then you're thinking, well, you're not going to pick Bentley because I prefer Pope to Bentley. And I think I prefer Pope to Sarr, to be honest. I just think, why would you trust a Wolves defence that, yes, they've been better recently under Pereira, but across the season, they're still bad. They've still conceded in games against teams that can score goals, that usually wouldn't score goals. Like, look, put it this way, Wolves are not an amazing defence. They're a good defence, but they're not an amazing defence. And I know that Leicester have scored 1 in the last 10, yes. But Jamie Vardy, mate. Jamie Vardy's having a party. And he loves playing Wolves. I've looked at his recent record. He loves it. And the howling celebration will come out. You just know it. What do you think about Cucurella? Now, you might notice 0 Chelsea players in this free hit. There's a reason for that. And the reason is I don't rate Chelsea. Simple as that. Would I be surprised if Everton won that game 1-0? Nope. Would I be surprised if Chelsea won the game 1-0? Also no. So I can't call it because Palmer's been absolutely stinking out the gaff. Chelsea defensively, we can't realistically say on an eye test perspective they've been a good defence. Sure, their stats are looking good, Chelsea defensively, The XG conceded is not terrible, but the goals they concede, how many times does Sanchez just let one in? It's a bit like with Man City when I talk about Chelsea. Like, people are rating Chelsea defence, but I just don't see it. Would Njai score a penalty? Absolutely. I just think, like, I see the upside of Cucurella. I think Cucurella is the only one I can understand because he's got attacking threat. So even if Chelsea concede, he could get you something. But I just think there's more chance of Man United not scoring. There's more chance of Leicester not scoring. There's more chance of Spurs not scoring than there is of Everton not scoring. I just think Everton could score. Like, they're a good side. David Moyes is a great manager. Like, they have beaten Forest. They have drawn to Arsenal. They have also, I think they drew to Liverpool, right? So they can do well against these good sides, Everton. Honestly, would not be surprised. I do feel you need at least one wild punt. One player you'd never otherwise own. Well, we'll get to that on my bench. Andrew. But yes, that's the defense at the moment. Virgil's in, and it could change the trend, or it could be swapped round with the player that's on my bench. But we'll get to that. Murphy is a lock, absolutely guaranteed lock for me. It's either him or Barnes, but I want double Newcastle attack. I think you've got to remember Ipswich get relegated if they lose this game. Genuinely. So, or even if they don't win it, I think possibly, potentially. But if they lose, they're 100% relegated. Do I want to target a relegation team who are trying to win their games to stay up and could score, and have got an incentive to score, versus a relegation team that have been defensively all over the shop for all season, and I want to capitalize on that with some attackers? Yes, please. So, as much as Murphy did blank last week, I just don't know. Hoyson's better than Kirkes. Nah, I don't think he is. Kirkes is so attacking, and Hoyson gets a lot of yellow cards. I do understand what you're saying on BPS. He is better, but you got to go for the attacking upside of Kirkes, man. It's got to be. Now, Kluivert. With Patrick Kluivert, I'm sorry, Justin Kluivert, wrong Kluivert. It's Man United. If they were playing anyone that wasn't Man United, I'd probably not have Kluivert. But he's on pens. Man United are terrible. Bournemouth have got Europe to fight for, and it's a fixture on the Sunday. I like to have players spread across the game week, and I know what you might say here. Why does that matter? It just helps me mentally. It just gives me the hope. I like to have the hope across the game week, and if I can have someone in that Bournemouth game, I've got Kirkes as well. I just think Kluivert, he's too good of a player to not return to form. And now that he's back from injury, he played 90 minutes, I think, against Palace. So I don't see him, getting any sort of reduced minutes in this game. And Man United are going to be thinking about Europa League. So I just think Kluivert's a great pick this week. I think he's not in too many teams, and I think he's a great pick. He's on pens. What could go wrong? Then Diaz. Luis Diaz is 1,000% a lock. There's no way I'd go without him. Absolutely no way. Because Tottenham are actually arguably worse than Ipswich defensively. And I know that sounds wild, but I genuinely think it's true. Have you watched Tottenham games this season? Have you watched Ipswich games this season? Now, both are pretty terrible, I know. But genuinely, they are so bad, Tottenham. And again, we've got the same factor of the Europa League. Spurs actually want to lose this game. And I'll tell you why. Think about it. If Spurs lose this game, that means that Arsenal will have to do a guard of honour for Liverpool next weekend. Do you really think? Actually, no. Sorry, it's not next weekend, is it? Because when do Liverpool play Arsenal in 36, don't they? Yeah, because Arsenal got Bournemouth. But I suppose, yeah, it doesn't really make a difference. Basically, what I'm getting at is, yeah, for a second I thought it was 35 they played Liverpool Arsenal, but actually I think it's 36. So ignore me. But point being is, Spurs fans will want to see Arsenal get their title snatched away. Because we know it's going to happen. Obviously, Liverpool are going to win the league. But, Spurs will not care about this game. They'll want Liverpool to win. So, genuinely, the players will obviously make out they don't want to, have Liverpool win. Obviously, they want to get goals for their own career. But I just think Spurs are terrible. They're so bad defensively, and I want a bit of that that Liverpool attack. Now, Luis Diaz, is he 100% likely to play 90 minutes? Oh, absolutely not. Absolutely not. But how many players in the league are? When you think about it, how many players are? Morning, FPL have a beer. Just seeing you in the chat. Yeah, but this is the thing, Max. You're saying it's not true about the narrative. They want to lose the game. I agree. It's probably not true. But as you said, they are just trash. Spurs are just trash. And I want a bit of that Liverpool attack. And Luis Diaz, if he comes off at 65, I think he'll have done the damage by then. Because that's how bad Spurs are. And when Liverpool know that they are in front of the crowd, they got the title to win, Diaz is going to be up for it, man. He's going to be up for it. And he's also got a personal vendetta against Tottenham because he was robbed of that goal, the VAR goal, remember, last season. So there's a narrative here I can create for Luis Diaz. Now, Salah for me is absolutely the best captaincy this week, no doubt, because Isak recently has been a little bit quiet. I think he gets a return, Isak, but extra point for a goal, extra point for a clean sheet. Mo Salah is the best FPL player of all time. And Tottenham are an absolutely stinking defence. So, for me, it's got to be Mo Salah captain. The forwards now. This is where it gets interesting. Because I've got Welbeck, which is a little punt. A little wild punt. Danny Welbeck. Now, you might say, why? Now, let me tell you about a little story. Raul Jimenez. People are hyping up Raul Jimenez. I've had him this season. And I can say from experience, Raul Jimenez. Oh, why are there some dogs barking outside? Go away. I'm telling you now, Raul Jimenez has not got that dog in him. He's not. But I think Danny might. So, Raul Jimenez has never scored against Southampton for Fulham. Never. In his whole career. I mean, that's pretty embarrassing. Against the team bottom of the league, he's never scored against Southampton for Fulham. So, yeah. Isak has been quiet, then argue for Salah. Yeah, I know, Andrew. Salah has been quiet, but form is temporary. The form is temporary podcast. Form is temporary. Class is permanent with Mo Salah. Mo Salah is the best Premier League player this season, without a doubt. And I think he deserves Ballon d'Or, genuinely. So, Salah is going to haul. I don't care what you say. He was so unlucky to not return last week. So, you know, I think it's bound to happen. But what I was saying with Jimenez, yeah. I know Jimenez is on pens, right? I know he's on pens, and that's the upside you get. And it's different to previous game weeks with Jimenez because Muniz is confirmed out for this game. Fair enough. And to be fair, earlier on in the season when I had Jimenez, it was when Muniz was around, right? And this was what frustrated me, is Jimenez would come off pretty much every single time on 65, 70 minutes. And then Muniz often comes on and it'll be when the defense is tired and then Muniz will score. And it will just be like, why do I even have either of them? Because it's just a headache every week. Muniz, Jimenez, Muniz, Jimenez, Muniz, Jimenez. This week, that headache is not there because obviously Muniz is out. But is there still a chance that Jimenez comes off early? I think so. Because Fulham have an outside chance of European football. Now, that has been dented by their loss to Chelsea. If as a moderator, if I spam the chat with fake team news, should I then block myself? Yeah, and Gary, you have to block yourself, mate. You can't be doing that. Yeah, I agree, Max. Brighton's creativity without Pedro, but the fact is Pedro is out, so that means Welbeck is on penalties, guaranteed. And West Ham are defensively terrible. Welbeck could do nothing for 90 minutes, and then Welbeck steps up and scores a pen. Now, I know what you're going to say. Well, that's the exact same argument with Jimenez. But honestly, I think I'm cursed when it comes to Raul Jimenez. Genuinely, I am the curse. So I'm going to help you guys out. Everyone put Jimenez in your team. Everyone do it. Everyone do it. Right now, if you haven't got Jimenez in your team, do it. Because he's not in my team. So what that means is he will haul. As soon as I put Jimenez in my team, it's a Jimenez blank confirmed. Simple as that. So basically, I can't win here. I cannot win. So for your benefit, I thought I'd be generous and give you a Jimenez haul right here, right now. because he's not in my team. But if I put him in my team, then I'm going to curse everyone out there that's got Jimenez. So, you know what? For the benefit of the majority, I'll be generous. I'll be generous and I'll go without Raul for your sakes. Yeah, Max has said Raul is a trap. I agree. Wood is better than Raul. I also agree with that. The problem, though, with Chris Wood, and this is the thing, I love Chris Wood so much. And people hate him. Some people love him. Along with Yelena and along with Semi Casual, we are the members of the Chris Wood fan club because he's an absolute legend. And the baby celebration could be coming soon. But the problem with Chris Wood is, imagine you put him in, and let's say you play a 3-4-3 formation. So then your backup is, say, a midfielder that's maybe a bench option or a defender. Your first on bench. You put Chris Wood in. He gets injured in the FA Cup against Man City. And he's ruled out of the game against Brentford on the Thursday. We won't know that information prior to the deadline. The deadline's in just over 40 minutes' time. So you put Chris Wood in, yes, because he's great. But you're relying then on Chris Wood to be, if he gets injured against Man City, ruled out completely. Because imagine, let's say it's a minor injury, enough to have him on the bench against Brentford, and he comes on for a one-pointer. How annoyed would you be if you had started Chris Wood in that situation? So, like, as much as Wood is great, I'm not going to risk it. I'm not going to risk it as much as he's great. It could bite a lot of people. Max has said his first sub will be Murphy or Barnes if Wood is injured. But this is the thing. Like, if Murphy or Barnes start, I wouldn't want to bench them. And then imagine Wood doesn't start the game, but he's on the bench. And then that one-pointer blocks you from Murphy or Barnes. That could be really painful, man. It genuinely could. Which midfielder or striker would you take a hit for this week? That is guaranteed a game in 37. That isn't Mbeumo, Worcester, or Newcastle. Good question. Max has asked, would Mbeumo or Raul? Pick one. I think I'd pick Raul in that. Out of those three, because Wood has potentially got the injury doubts. Mbeumo, tough fixture away to Forest. I'd go for Raul in those three. But I think I prefer Welbeck or Evan Nilsson to Jimenez, to be honest. Mate, you're hyping up Joel Linton, Andrew. Just relax, okay? Just relax. Leno pen save. Saints are terrible at penalties. To be honest, Geddy, I don't think Southampton are capable of winning a penalty. But I wouldn't be surprised if Fulham conceded. I'll be honest. So let's see about some of the other comments we got in the chat. FPL Nightmare saying Salah's not getting Ballon d'Or. I don't know. I know that the Champions League's a big factor, but I don't know. It's tricky. What else have we got? Evan Ilson for Liam. Good morning, Liam. Hope you're well, mate. Thanks for coming in. The chat, I appreciate it. Geddy has asked, has there been many pens in the Prem lately? Not sure there were any last game week. Good question. I haven't actually looked at that. So let's have a little look back at last week. So last game week, we had... Yeah, actually, you know what? It's a fair point. It's a very fair point. There were 0 penalties last week. But that doesn't necessarily mean anything. Like, it could change completely again. Game week 32, though. Game week 32, were there penalties? To be fair, there weren't many in 32 either. Because, well, there were penalties for Villa, but they missed them all. Yeah, there were actually 2, though, for Pedro. And this is the thing. This is why I like Welbeck. Because Brighton are just a side that find ways to win pens. And Welbeck's going to be on them. So, I don't know. It's tempting. But yeah, this is the rest of the free hit for your viewing. So this is the dilemma I've got, right? Welbeck or Evan Nilsson. And then I've got Sessegnon. So put it in the chat, people. Do we think Sessegnon starts? Because if he does, he could be brilliant. He could be absolutely brilliant. But in that scenario, I would then have to be benching Virgil, probably. Because I know it seems weird to bench a Liverpool defender because they're such a good defence. But I also think there's a chance Spurs score. And the bullet header from Virgil might not come. It might just be a narrative I've created. So what I could do is bench Virgil, hope that Spurs score, and play Sessegnon. And that does look pretty nice. Now, with Newcastle defence, enjoyed the stream. You deserve way more subs. Take care. Oh, I appreciate that, Andrew. Thanks for dropping in, mate. It's been good banter. Been good fun. Thanks for dropping in. So Max has said Sessegnon starts and subs at 70. Yeah, could happen. But then this is the question. Do we think Southampton has scored by then? So the only threat Southampton have got is Onuachu and Sulemana, realistically. It's Onuachu and Sulemana. Do I think they score against Fulham? I don't know, man. The thing is, I didn't think Fulham would concede against Chelsea, and then they conceded 2 late on. So, and will Sessegnon start? This is the question. Will he start? Because if he does, he's playing right winger. And there's a thread that the FPL Meerkat, great guy in the community, put out about right wingers against Southampton do so well. But it'd just be so annoying if Wilson started. Southampton have scored in 8 games the last 10. This is what I mean. This is what I was saying earlier. I don't think a Fulham clean sheet is locked in. What about Robinson, Geddy says? That's true. That is true. I could go Robinson, but it's a punt where I think, why go bland? Why go bland with Robinson when I can go exciting? And yes, Sessegnon might get a 1-pointer, but the thing I look at it is, surely he either starts or doesn't start. Like, does he come on if he's benched? Maybe. But even if he does come on, I think he could do enough to justify starting him. Like, he could come on and get an assist or get a goal. It's a punty play, but I think this is the free hit. This is what it's all about. At my rank, I've got to reach for the stars. I mean, 93k is good, but I just think I've got to take a punt. Like, if I can finish top 50k, it will be because of this game week. Because I've got no more chips left. And if there's no doubles in 36, which there is a chance, but most likely there will be. If there is no doubles, or let's say there is, right? I'll be taking probably hits to get in double game week players. Although I say that, this will be my team in game week 35. Sorry, let me go back. Wait, 1 second. This will be my team in game week 35, right? Now, the plan would be for 35 is take out Saka for Mbumo and then probably take out Salah for KDB, probably. Or maybe Murphy, if I can afford taking Murphy out. So this is the thing, right? I've already got 3 Palace. So if Palace win in the Cup, that wouldn't be the worst thing. So I think I prefer the 3 Palace options I've got to the 3 Villa options. But equally, Palace will then blank in 37. So that leaves me in a bit of a problem because if, let's say, Man City win against Forest, that leaves me in a problem for 37. So it's tricky. It is tricky because if I'd want to get KDB in for 35, then I'd be blanking. I'd have about 6 players blanking 37. If Villa win, though, then I could sell Luka Dean anyway because he's not very good. I've come to that realization now. If Villa win, then I could get another Villa player late into sort of 36 territory and then take them out if I need to in 37. I don't have to take hits necessarily. And also, if City win, then I'll be already ready for 36. It's just there'll be sort of problems with 37. If Forest and Villa win, though, then it could be interesting because then it'll be looking at Tottenham players, which I don't have, and West Ham players, which I don't have. I don't know if I want them. Like, Tottenham are terrible and West Ham are terrible. But then equally, if Palace win, I don't mind it because then I can attack the Wolves players, the Cunhas or the Aït-Nouris for their double. So it's tricky, man. It is tricky. I don't know what I want in the FA Cup, basically, is what I'm getting at. Most likely I want Villa just because it'd just be funny because I don't really like Palace as a team. But I say that. Mateta's making me like Palace a bit more than usual, and Sarr as well. Like if Sarr got to an FA Cup final, that would be pretty cool. Because he wasn't, believe it or not, he wasn't actually part of the Watford team that got to the FA Cup final 6 years ago. He joined us the season after. So like for Sarr, just for him to get to a FA Cup final would be a great achievement. But for my team, I think I don't know. Maybe it is better to have 3 Palace doublers. But then this is the problem. Palace have been a letdown recently. Like I know Mateta did well, but recently they've been so poor. So do I actually want Palace to double? Maybe I do. Sorry, the doorbell's just gone, so I've got to get that. So sorry, just bear with a sec, people. I'll be back in a sec. Sorry, I just realised I'm on mute. Sorry about that, people. I just put a robe on just because I thought I'd get all fancy. But basically, that was just someone at the door. So apologies. What was I saying? I was saying I don't know what I was saying. Point being is we don't know what's going to happen for the FA Cup. I don't know what I want, to be honest. So yeah, whatever will be will be. But what was I going to say? I was going to say something. Oh yeah. So my team for 34. I don't think this will change because as much as it might be risky, Sessegnon, imagine he starts. Just imagine he starts. So Spanner's asked Murphy versus Barnes. Honestly, I think I prefer Murphy. I just think there's more chance Murphy gets more minutes. And the other thing about Jacob Murphy is, let's not forget, Leif Davis is suspended. So they're going to have play Greaves at left back. And Greaves, who's supposed to be a centre back, is out of position. And then Murphy is going to be playing up against. So Murphy obviously plays on the right, doesn't he? So Murphy is going to basically be playing up against their left back. So that's perfect for me. Like I think Murphy plays on the right, and then it's between Barnes and Gordon for who plays on the left. That's why I think it's better for Murphy minutes. So I think I prefer that, to be honest, Spanner. He's also asked if Forest win, then most likely scheduled for midweek of 37, so no double game week. That's a good point. This is what I was saying earlier in the video. Like there is a chance that if Forest win, they don't double because basically they've not got any commitments in the midweek of 37, whereas Villa would. So if Villa win, and maybe Man City as well, but basically there is a chance that they could split it. So it could be a double game week 36 for Aston Villa if they win, and then a single game week 37 for Forest if they win. Does that make sense? So like there'd be no blank or double for Forest, but there would be for Villa, because Villa, if they get through in the FA Cup, cannot play in game week 37. But if Forest get through, they can play in 37 because they've not got any other commitments. So that's a good point. Really good point, Spanner. What is it about this Joel Linton hype? I mean, how many goals has he got this season? I'm intrigued. I'm genuinely intrigued now. The amount of times it's been mentioned by Andrew and Gary in the chat. I mean, they're Newcastle fans, so I'm going to take it with a pinch of salt. But genuinely, what do people see in Joel Linton? I mean, how many goals has he got all season? He's got 4 goals all season. So you're telling me that Joel Linton, who's not scored since game week 19, is an FPL pick for our teams? Genuinely, you're telling me someone who's not scored since Christmas? I mean, come on, let's not take the mick here. But yeah, for that reason, that's interesting. And this is the thing about the FA Cup results. It's so dependent on what 36 looks like. So I just think if you're banking on there being a double in 36, I'd just use it. I'd use it now. I'd use the free hit now because a lot of people will be free hitting. So you kind of have to kind of counteract that. And you might get left behind if you don't free hit this week, is my opinion. But obviously, everyone's teams are different. And if they're better set up for 34, then they don't need to. FPL Review has got him on more points than Gordon and Barnes. Honestly, FPL Review, there's some people that like these FPL models. I think they are absolute utter nonsense. I'm pretty sure FPL Review has got Sanchez as the best keeper this week. Chelsea are trash, mate. They are trash. Now, could they keep a clean sheet against Everton? Absolutely. But I wouldn't want to be relying on Chelsea. Like, no, come on. Like, come on. So just play it your own way, as James says. Play it your own way. If you've got a gut feel about a player, which I do with all of these players, to do well, then go for them. But if you're just logging into a site and saying FPL Review, tell me what to do, and you're just doing that like it's gospel, it's not a fun way to play, in my opinion. It's not for me. But each to their own. Whatever floats your boat. But captaincy. So captaincy this week, I think it has to be Salah. I know that Isak's got Ipswich, and Ipswich are terrible, but Liverpool are a better attack than Newcastle, is the reality of it. And they're winning, they're going to try and win the league. So, like, much more incentive. You couldn't get it. You genuinely could not get it. And Spurs couldn't have any less incentive to win this game. So I just think it's a perfect combo. It's a perfect cocktail for a perfect captaincy haul. FPL Fran would strongly disagree. Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah, no, look, the models have got their place. They've got their place in certain things. But when it comes to players that are bad players just because they have an okay fixture, like, a bad player is still a bad player at the end of the day. like, no, Joel Linton's a good footballer, I know, but for an FPL pick, you just don't know when he's going to return. So I just don't like it. And Sanchez, I would not be, if my weekend relied on banking on Chelsea to do well, the way they've been recently, I would not be happy with that. Honestly, they couldn't beat Ipswich at home. They couldn't keep a clean sheet to Ipswich at home. And everyone is talking to me about, oh, you got to double up on the Newcastle defence at home to Ipswich. Well, why are people then talking about Chelsea defence when they've got, a fixture against Everton where, like, they couldn't keep a clean sheet against Ipswich. So, and Everton are a better attack than Ipswich, you'd argue. So we got to put this all in perspective. 4-3-3 this game week for Blue Danube Joe. 4-3-3. Not seen many of those. Interesting. I'd like to know what your 4 defenders are, Yusuf. Interesting stuff, because I just think if you go 4-3-3, you're limiting your midfielders, man. Like, the midfielders this week, there's so many I like. And there's also a lot of forwards I like, hence why I'm going 3 up front. Like, I could go 3-5-2, but then you're cutting out one of the forwards. Like, I just think there's about 4 or 5 forwards that you can pick this week. So Welbeck, Chris Wood, and it's a big if, he gets through the Man City game unscathed. Then it's Cunha, Isak, and maybe Strand Larson. And maybe Evan Nilsson if you really fancy a punt. But I just don't know about Jimenez, man. Like, Jimenez is playing Southampton, yeah. But what did he do in the reverse game against Southampton this season? How did he get on? In fact, forget that. How did Fulham get on? They drew 0-0. They didn't beat Southampton. And that was at home for Fulham. So just putting you out there. The Fulham attackers are just like Iwobi, Smith Rowe. Like, do you know they're going to return? No. I know that it's Southampton, right? And we have to look at fixture, but if Jimenez wasn't on pens, no one would be considering him. That's my ultimate reality. Like Welbeck, people were considering him before Pedro got injured. Hence, he's a good pick before the penalties. Whereas Jimenez, I think he's so reliant on penalties. So he could get one, sure, but could he not? Definitely, 100%. Like I just think, I don't know. It is tight. It is tight between him, Welbeck, Jimenez, Welbeck, Evan Nilsson, Strand Larsen. It's tight. It is tight. But I just rate Brighton as a team more than I do Fulham. Does that make sense? Like, I think in the table, they might actually be pretty close. In fact, in the Premier League table right now. But like, if you also compare who they're playing, Southampton are worse than West Ham. Fair enough. But I mean, actually, yeah, they're joint on points. Fulham are only above on goal difference. They're joint on points. So it's very tight. It's very tight between them. It's just whether you trust Welbeck or Jimenez more. And it's a home fixture as well for Welbeck. And now, let me tell you about Welbeck. We've talked about Raul Jimenez. Fun fact for you people. Did you know, in his career, and now the joke I made about Jimenez was a bit tongue in the cheek because Jimenez for Fulham has only played one game against Southampton, which was this season, and he blanked. There you go, all the evidence you need. But with Jimenez, the reason I also don't like him compared to Welbeck is Welbeck, right, has more goals, and Welbeck is not only just come around. It's a much bigger sample size with Welbeck. He has not scored more goals against any other team than West Ham. West Ham is his favourite team to score against. He scored against them for Arsenal. He scored against them. Did he score against them for Watford? He might have done, possibly, but he definitely scored against them for Man United. He scored against them for Brighton. So Welbeck likes to score against West Ham, and West Ham, as we saw against Southampton, defensively, I wouldn't trust them. And Brighton, to be fair, the form from Brighton has been pretty sloppy recently. And without Pedro, there is a little less creativity because Pedro is not a 9. He's a 10. But Welbeck's still been doing well in games that Pedro's not played this season. Like, there has been games where Pedro's missed and Welbeck's done brilliantly. Like, just throw it back to the Newcastle away game. Like, an amazing goal in that Newcastle game for the FA Cup. I just think Brighton are a great side in offence. In defence, I don't trust Brighton, but in attack, they are still great. And I did think about Mitoma as well. He was one that I was umming and ahhing over, but he has just come back from injury. Whereas Welbeck, we know is going to start this game because of Pedro's absence. So I think I'm going to stay with Welbeck, in all honesty. I have looked at Evan Nilsson, but the thing with Evan Nilsson is, like, Bournemouth have been a bit dodgy recently. And the reason I've got Clive there is just because he's on pens. He's just on pens and he's playing Man United. So I wanted a bit of the Bournemouth attack against Man United, but I think I prefer the penalty takers over someone like an Evan Nilsson. Like, I think for me, I'd be more likely to get back Jimenez than I would go Evan Nilsson. But Evan Nilsson's recent form has been quite good, so I can see why he's an option that people are looking at. Strand Larsen. The thing with Strand Larsen is, I actually think he's done better when Cunha's not been in the side. Now, you could argue there's a chance Cunha doesn't start, and so why would you not go for Strand Larsen in that scenario? But I think Cunha does start, for what it's worth. Even if he doesn't start Cunha, I think Cunha gets a return and probably gets 3 bonus. And then this is the thing. If Cunha doesn't start, I think he gets subbed on for Strand Larsen. Now, it might not be necessarily true. Strand Larsen could sort of come off for someone else, for Bellegarde, whatever. But it would be annoying, wouldn't it? If you only went Strand Larsen doesn't do anything, gets subbed off on, say, 67, 70 for Cunha, and then Cunha's the one that returns with less minutes. So I just think I'm more confident in Cunha than Strand Larsen, but I get why people are going against Cunha because there are rumours of him potentially not starting. So, yeah, I don't know. What's this? Anti-Newcastle bias, ban him from his own stream. No, I would never ban you, Andrew. Gary, I'd never banned you. you're a Newcastle fan, so I get why you're hyping up Joel Linton. But I've got triple Newcastle here. I'm not anti-Newcastle either. I think you'll smash Ipswich, but I just don't necessarily know if you'll keep a clean sheet. But I think you will smash them. Yusuf has said he's got Trent, Robinson, Ait-Nouri, and Trippier as his back four. Wow. It's a good back four. Don't get me wrong, but I think I prefer Sessegnon. I know it's riskier, but live a little, man. Like Sessegnon could be so good. He's playing right wing. He also could be terrible, but he also could be so good. Trent is a risky one, but is it riskier than Sessegnon? Probably not, to be fair. So I understand the Trent pick. I think there's more confidence in Trent starting than there is Sessegnon. But what you've got to factor in is there more chance of Tottenham scoring than Fulham? Than Fulham conceding? There probably is. I think it's more likely Spurs score. Just because, I know Liverpool have to win. Well, they'll want to win, I should say, but they only have to draw. So if there's one sort of moment of nerves on the big day, if you want to call it that, even though the title's been wrapped for weeks, but you know what I mean? It's the first day, it's the first day they can officially win the league today. I mean, because they knew that going into the Leicester game, because Arsenal won, they couldn't win the league. So this is the first time it's possible, right? So naturally, they want to get it wrapped up in front of their home fans. There is going to be a bit of nerves. Would that lead to a Spurs goal? I think it could. This is why I'm thinking maybe I bench Van Dijk. And I wouldn't want to be benching. I'd feel more comfortable about benching Van Dijk than I would be benching Trent. Because even if Trent didn't start, he could come on and get a massive haul like he did against Leicester. Whereas Virgil will start and, a headed goal might happen, but it's quite rare. So put it this way. I think there's a good chance Spurs score. So at the moment, I think I might bench Van Dijk. But I can understand why Trent is tempting because the upside is there, of course, 100%. And it might be the last time people own him. That's the other thing. Like Trent has been such a legend and he's probably leaving. So it might be the last time I get the opportunity I get to own him. So this is the thing. I in an ideal world, I'd get news that Sessegnon is benched. If he's benched, then I'd swap out Sessegnon for Van Dijk and do Van Dijk to Trent. But we just won't know that. It's a 3:00 kickoff. We won't know for Sessegnon either way. And I think without knowledge, without prior knowledge, I mean, I could just bench Kirkes. That's the other thing. I could go for Trent in for Van Dijk and switch around Trent and Kirkes. But I just see Bournemouth keeping a clean sheet. Get it in the chat. Let me know. Do you think Bournemouth keep a clean sheet? If you think they don't, then I might risk Trent. So Trent is locked in for him. Oh no, sorry, that's Max. Apologies. Max has said he's locked in. Oh, okay. Sells. I like the Sells pick. You know what? I had Sells before Pope. It'd be annoying if Sells then gets a haul, but I just think Brentford probably score. But I don't know if it necessarily will be in Bumo. It might be like a Sharda or a Wissa. But I think Brentford probably do score. Just because the thing about Forest, there's such an elite defence. So they could keep a clean sheet. But you've also got to remember that Brentford are a great attack away from home. So, yeah, I think that game has goals in it, to be honest. And that's why I'm a little bit worried about having no attackers from that game. But I've got to, on a free hit, target for the fixtures. And for both sides, that's not the easiest of games. It's not an easy game for Forest, even though it's at home. For the defensive side of things, it's tough. The Brentford are a great attack. And from the attacking side of things, I mean, Brentford defensively are pretty poor, but it's still not the easiest of fixtures, Brentford. So, yeah, I'm not sure about a Forest or Brentford player outside of maybe a Wood or an Mbumo, but I don't know. But yeah, I don't mind the Sells pick. Ait-Nouri, Trippier, and Sessegnon. Trippier, though, I think with Trippier, like he's been on set pieces. He had a moment of the season where he wasn't playing, and the upside could be there for Trippier, of course, but he's got 1 assist all season, and he's not getting in enough attacking positions for me, and he's not showing me enough. Like I'd prefer Livramento over Trippier because at least Livramento is getting in attacking positions. Like he's getting down the left, really sort of attacking. So I don't know. I think I prefer Livramento. If we knew Fabian Schär 100% was starting, I'd probably prefer Schär to a Pope. But do we know that for certainty? So this is the thing. The defenders is where it's going to change. I think the forwards are locked for me. I think I'm going to go Welbeck, former Watford player. I've also got a former Watford player on my bench, by the way, Decore, just for a bit of fun. But it's where the defense could change because I need to know about Sessegnon. Will Sessegnon play? Do I switch Sessegnon to Van Dijk on my bench? Do I switch Van Dijk with Kirkes and then instead switch Van Dijk to Trent? There's a few things that could change with the defense. And could I switch Pope to Kepa potentially if I want to cover the Bournemouth defense? Maybe. Could I switch Pope to Kepa? Maybe. So it's tricky. It's tricky. We've got 15 minutes, people, to the deadline. So make sure you're starting to get close to finalizing those teams and lock in that team. And make sure if you're playing free hit this week that you activate it in time and make sure to actually activate it, not take a minus 48 or something. That would be a nightmare in a blank game week. What's the chat saying then? So the rest of Max's team, Sessegnon, Salah, Diaz, Palmer, Kluivert. Palmer, there's no way I go Palmer. I just think this is the opportunity to go against Palmer. Like, yes, it's the early kickoff. And yes, Chelsea have got a lot to play for. But Gandhi, the early kickoff, you know, it's a big thing. Never back it. And Palmer, he needed to do more in the last few weeks to convince me because he did nothing against Fulham. He got an assist against Ipswich, which is not enough. He got an assist against Spurs, which is not enough. Like, are you really going to have Palmer for assists for 10.6 million? Like, yes, he could win a pen, but so could any player that's on penalties. So, I don't know. It's tricky. I'm not going to go there. But I understand it because Palmer could do well, but I just don't think it's worth doing it on free hit. Kluivert, Murphy, Cunha, Isak, and then a bench. He's got Welbeck. Now, honestly, Max, I would make sure you start Welbeck. Benching a pen taker could always bite you in the bum. And I just don't want to, I wouldn't chance it. You've got Cucurella and Canate also on the bench. Yeah, no, that's a decent team. 3-5-2. I like it. Joel Linton red card. Imagine, Max. Imagine after this stream. Palmer being differential was mad. I don't think it is, to be honest, Max. If you've watched Chelsea recently, I think Palmer being differential is pretty understandable, the way he's gone recently. FPL Hippie is in the chat. Thanks, mate. I appreciate you. Thanks for coming in. Big up NBFC. Yes, Arinze, my guy. Yeah. So I'll give a bit of context for that. So I'm a University of Lincoln student. I'm in my final year. As I said, I was doing my dissertation at the weekend. Last weekend and actually all of this week. I'm going to try and submit it on tomorrow tomorrow if I can. But basically what I was going to say was, NBFC. So that's the team name for my five-a-side team at my uni of University of Lincoln. And I'm the goalie for NBFC. Also, if you want to check out some of the highlights of me playing as a goalie, hang on, bear with a sec, people. Just got to charge my phone. We're back, people. What was I saying? I was saying, so if you want to see me in goal and see some highlights of me playing in goal for NBFC, then go search on YouTube. It's called Viking 5. So they're one of the teams in the league, and they upload highlights of their games, and they recently uploaded the game with NBFC. So I'm in goal for NBFC, and we lost the game a few weeks back, but I made a few saves, so worth looking at if you want to. A cheeky little plug there. What else we got in the chat? Football is a crazy game. It certainly is, Max. It certainly is. But yeah, good to see you, FPL Hippie. Max is saying, need something for Forest and Brentford. You think I do? I don't know, man. I just think on a free hit, there's no point because I think most people not on a free hit will have Mbumo or maybe Chris Wood. I think you've got to go against them. If you're matching them, where's the gain? I think you got to hope that the players with better fixtures outscore the players in that Thursday game. And like this is the other thing. On a free hit, you imagine you go for Forest players and they get injured. That would be a way to kill a free hit. Palmer will haul, you say, Max. Oh, he spoke to him on the phone. Yeah, well, I think Palmer's a troll. Honestly, I think he is. Chippy chips and all that, but I think he's a troll, man. The way he's been this season. I know he scored over 200 points, which has still been a great season, don't get me wrong. Or actually, it might be just under 200. But He's still been great. Don't get me wrong, but we've got to look at what's going on for Chelsea. And recently, it's been Palmer's been in crisis mode. Like, he's not scored a goal for something like 102 days. Genuinely, that is factual stuff. So we've got to factor that into our FPL decisions. No Tarkowski. Yeah, true. But Everton is still a great defence. You know, one player doesn't change everything. Who do you have more trust in, Bournemouth or Chelsea? Yeah, I think I have more trust in Bournemouth, literally because Man United are worse than Everton. And I know that sounds extreme, but it's true. Like, they actually are. Like, I think there's more chance Bournemouth have a hatful of goals than Chelsea do. Because Everton are a better defence than Man United. That's ultimately what it comes down to. Everton are a much better defence than Man United. And so I wouldn't be surprised if Chelsea didn't do too well today. What are we saying here? We've got Christopher Warburton in the chat. Great to see you, mate. He says, who would you go for on a free hit, Mbumo or Bowen? Great question. On a free hit, I don't love either of them, to be honest. I'm just going to check Twitter just to see what the latest Twitter murmurings are about some of these players. Bear with a sec whilst my Twitter loads. What we saying? Hang on a sec. My laptop's slowed down for a sec. What's going on here? We don't like this. Do I not like this? There we go. What we saying? Palmer, Will Hall. Yeah, we've gone through that. Who would you go for? So yeah, so Christopher's asked, who would you go for, Mbumo or Bowen on a free hit? To be honest, I don't like either because I think I don't trust West Ham at all. So definitely not Bowen. With Mbumo, I like it because not many free hitters will have him, me included. If you're picking between those two, I think I'd go Mbumo, even though it's a tougher fixture. I know that sounds weird because Bowen's got Brighton, but Bowen is not as good as Mbumo. It's as simple as that. Mbumo's a great player. He's just a fantastic player. But if it was me and I was on a free hit, I'd probably avoid both, which sounds weird. But there are other penalty takers you can go for outside of Bowen and Mbumo. There's Kluivert. There's Raul Jimenez. There's Welbeck. There's a few players. So I think there are other options. Isak, Cunha. But obviously, I assume you already have those. So, yeah, fair enough. So Twiddy said Maresca wants a cup win on his CV. Yeah, exactly. He wants to win that Conference League, man. He will rotate like it's Champions League. He doesn't know if he'll have a job in August. Yeah, I know. I think I seem to remember you said on one of our Formers Temporary pods. By the way, we are on a little break from the Formers Temporary podcast, but we will be back. We will be back like the Terminator for Game Week 38, and we're going to have the legendary Andy Martin, FPL tactician, for that Game Week 38 preview, alongside the lovely FPL Lord Asifius. So stay tuned on my Twitter, tfit_pod is the way you can follow us on Formers Temporary podcast. And also, talking of which, the title race for the mini league is absolutely incredible. Let me just show you this. So Chris is in the lead as it stands, my co-host, and the mini league is hotting up because with 5 game weeks to go of the season, all Chris needs is 2 more points to win the league. 2 more points. So basically, the only way he doesn't win the league is if he loses 4 out of 5 games and then draws the other. Because obviously, if he loses 4 but then wins the other, then it won't matter. But he has to lose 4 and draw 1 for him to not win the league, which is pretty unlikely based on how well he's done this season. Like, he's still in the top 10k, I think. But that's the standings, right? So the people behind him is Oli Ide on 64 points. So that's a 14-point gap. Then Stewart on 63. That's a 15-point gap. And then Grida Duma on 62, a 16-point gap. So Oli Ide, Stewart, and Grida Duma have got to hope that Chris loses 4 times and then draws the other. However, obviously the closest challenger to Chris is Oli Ide. If Chris was to lose all of his remaining games, and either Oli Ide and or Stewart won all of theirs, then Chris would not win the league. And it would, he might, but it would basically go down to the very wire. In fact, if that happened for Stewart, then Stewart would go down to overall score rather than head-to-head points. But if Oli Ide won all of his games and Chris lost all of his, then Oli Ide will win the league. So, like, it's looking pretty much Chris's at this point to lose. It's been that way for a long time, but you never know. You never know. That would be top drama. Now, we've got 5 more minutes. 5 more minutes, people. I'm just going to scour Twitter for the last sort of team leaks and rumors and people messaging. See what's happening here. Oh, you absolute legend. You absolute legend, Andrew. That is so nice of you. What a guy. I'm going to retweet that. What a guy. No, that was really good fun. This stream has been really good fun, to be honest. But we're nearly locked in. So last minute questions. You're waiting for FPL to update, so I can wait. FPL to update? No. Funny one. You're trying to troll me. I'm not having this. Right, let's just make sure my team is ready and locked. Oh, do I go Sessegnon? And bench Virgil? Do I not go with Kirkes and go for Kepa and Trippier? Do we think Trippier is a good pick for this week, people? Put it in the chat. Do we think? I know you got me. Fair play, Twiddy. Not Twiddy. Sorry. FPL. FPL hippie. I keep getting my words wrong. I'm getting excited. That's why. The other thing I've got on my free hit, by the way, is I've got Sells on the bench. Will that kill me? It could. Don't get me wrong. It could. But we'll see. At the moment, I think I'm going to do that because I think there's a chance that Pickford will haul today. So I don't want to have a Pickford haul on the bench. So I've put Sells in as my backup for Pope. It's now just a decision between the defenders. Kirkes, Aït-Nouri and Sessegnon starting as it stands with Virgil on the bench. Do I go for Trent? It's Trent Alexander-Arnold. It might be the last time I can own him. I've got 3 minutes to deadline. Fuck it. Damn it. I shouldn't have sworn. Sorry. I really should not have done that. I'm going to get Trent. Sorry. The emotion has taken me over. Right. Trent is in. So that means I'm not going to play Kirkes, which might be really silly if Man United don't score. But Bruno is always existing. And you know what? If worst comes to worst and Sessegnon doesn't play, I've got Kirkes to come in. Oh, benching Kirkes. Yeah, I know. Everyone does swear, but I don't usually, so it's weird for me. I've put Trent in. Okay, we got 2 minutes left. Trent is just Trent at the end of the day, isn't he? He's just so good. And Kirkes might get more minutes than Sessegnon, but Sessegnon's got Southampton, man. I've got to take a punt, haven't I? I think I have. All right, we're locked in. 2 minutes to go. So let me just show you my final team. Here we go. This is the team, people. Locked in for the free hit. Get your teams locked in. We've just got 2 minutes left, so not long to go. This is the free hit then. Pope in goal. I think Newcastle get a clean sheet. Now, obviously, a double Newcastle defence is tempting, but I think they'll score more goals in this game, so I want to get in on that. And I think I prefer Murphy to Barnes. Sessegnon is a risk. It is a risk, but you got to live a little sometimes, and I think we have to take a punt. Here. He's got Southampton. He's got attacking threat. He's playing right wing. Then Aït-Nouri, Trent, because it's Trent, and this might be the final game where I can own him. And they could concede, but he's got attacking threat, Trent. Murphy, Clivert on pens. Diaz against Spurs could cook. Salah captain, easy decision. Isak, Cunha, Welbeck. That looks great to me. I think that looks great. We've got 5 pen takers there and a lot of home fixtures as well. The only player without a home fixture is Sessegnon, who's playing at right wing against Southampton. Let's go. We're locked in, boys. The deadline is seconds away. Get everyone's teams locked in, people. Kirkes might well punish me. Sells might punish me as well, to be fair. But I think we're locked in. Oh, you know what? I just realised my draft teams. I didn't check my draft teams. Oh, no. I think I've run out of time. Damn it. No. Have I remembered? Have I got time to change? No. I've missed out on my draft teams. Oh, I got to hope that my draft was ready. I think I made a few changes earlier in the week with my draft teams, but I really, really hope that... Did I actually make my FPL transfer? Did I confirm my subs there? I'm overthinking it now. Did I actually confirm the subs? I think I did. I really hope I did. But anyway, doesn't matter now. Whatever happens, happens. Free hit is active. Oh, I can breathe a sigh of relief. That was stressful, man. It's Trent. It's Trent, you know? It's Trent, and Spurs can win the league. It's Trent. I got overtaken by the emotion. It might well backfire, but imagine he hauls again. Back-to-back weeks against Leicester and Spurs. They are pretty bad. Yeah. It's an emotional one, that one. It's a nostalgia one. It's a bit like De Bruyne. It's Trent. He's been an FPL legend for us, and I just thought it's Trent. Now the Virgil header is now going to obviously come because I don't have him. But remember, if Virgil scores a header, who will be assisting it? TAA, baby. So it's all good. It is all good. Now I'm pretty happy with that team. I think I'm pretty happy with how that team went. Everyone's teams are locked in now, so you know we just got to leave it up to the FPL gods to give us a good game week and pray and hope for the best. Pope, and also, you know, rest his soul. Pope this week in my team as a goalie does feel appropriate. Today is the funeral of the Pope, not Nick Pope, but Pope Francis. So rest in peace, mate. Yeah, it's kind of it's appropriate. It's in his memory. And also, this weekend is the London Marathon. So if anyone's running it, I give you massive wishing good luck. Hope it goes well tomorrow. I think it's tomorrow, the London Marathon. So yeah, I mean, it feels very sort of poetic. This game week is like the end of a marathon for me. It's been a marathon of a season. It's been a roller coaster of emotions, and I've got to get a good free hit. I simply have to, because this will be 4 green hours in a row going into this week. If we can get near the top 50k, it'll be big. And we've taken some punts. If it falls below top 100k, then so be it. But if we can get near top 50, because of the risks we've taken, like a Trent, a Sessegnon, a Clivert, a Welbeck, there are a few punts there. But I think at the end of the day, you got to go for it. And when players like Welbeck and Clivert are on pens, it just looks great. I was considering Strand Larsen just to be really punty, but I just think he does play a little bit worse at certain points. And like, I know that Strand Larsen recently has been in great form, but you got to remember that was when Cunha wasn't in the team. Oh, the draft is updated. Okay, so we can. Oh, hang on. No, it hasn't. I thought it had, but it seems it hasn't. It's 3 minutes over though. Surely it should update by now, because usually it does update. Yeah, there you go. There it is. Oh no, it's still updating. All right, we're a bit too eager, but for those that are still with us, thanks for watching. The last thing we're going to do, so bear with me a second whilst I just get something from my list. Last thing we're going to do is we are going to do some predictions. So get them in the chat, people. 4 people watching, get them in the chat. We're going to do predicting the games this weekend. And what we'll do is I'll calculate how many points you guys get in the chat. So feel free, if you're watching this back, not live, still to comment your predictions. But please get them in before sort of around 12 o'clock. So that I can get them before the games kick off, basically. So the first game to predict, people, is Chelsea against Everton. So I've been dissing Chelsea all stream, and I think it would only be right if I predicted Everton to get something here. I think Everton could get some goals. I genuinely do. It might sound wild because Chelsea's defensive numbers have not been that bad, but Sanchez exists. Like, Robert Sanchez exists. Honestly, if what's his name? If Jorgensen or even Petrovic was in goal for Chelsea, I'd probably say a Chelsea clean sheet. But it's Robert Sanchez, man. So I'm going to go for Chelsea 1, Everton 2. Chelsea's goal scorer, what are we going to go for? It's tricky, that, isn't it? It is tricky. I don't know. I'm not quite sure who's going to get the goal for Chelsea. I don't think it's going to be Palmer. Oh yeah, hang on. Yeah, the draft has updated, so that's good. So you might say, why have you got this team? But it's just draft. Like, draft is a very different game. So to explain, if you haven't seen it already, it's like you get a pick of players and only one player in each league can own each player. Only one manager can own each player, if that makes sense. So only one manager, only one team has Salah, only one team has Van Dijk, only one team has De Bruyne, etc. So it's very hard to get good players, basically, unless you had a really good opening, draft pick in the before the season started, and you kept that player the whole season. It's very hard to have good players. So this is why there's a few dodgy players in here. But I've got Ramsdale now. I've said all I've said about Jimenez. I thought, what's the perfect way to go against Jimenez this week? Is a Ramsdale penalty save. That would be lovely. He did it against Villa. Admittedly, McGinn scored the rebound, but I would love it. I would love it if Jimenez missed a penalty. I would love it. So I've got Ramsdale in there. I've also gone for O'Brien because I actually genuinely think there's a chance of an Everton clean sheet because Chelsea are just so wasteful in attack. I mean, again, I know Palmer scored 4 goals against Everton this game last season, but that was last season. That's a different Palmer to this season. And I know Palmer's done some good things this season. For instance, the 4 goals he scored against Brighton. But Brighton are a much worse defence than Everton. I think Everton could score, and maybe even from a set piece. So I'm going to go for O'Brien to score a cheeky little headed goal, right? Jake O'Brien, what a legend. I've also got Semedo in there, could get a clean sheet. Milenkovic maybe gets a clean sheet if Mbeumo has an off day. And then Smith. I mean, benching Kirkes might be a mistake, but I just think it was worth it for Trent. But I have got a bit of Bournemouth because I do think they do keep a clean sheet against United. Then the midfield, there's a few differential punts in here. Now, I actually don't want Decore to score. So I've got Decore in my draft team just because he's been great form recently, actually. But I don't want him to score because he's on my bench in my free hit team. So I'd rather he didn't. But I put Tell in there just because as much as I've gone for Trent, I wouldn't be surprised to see Spurs get an odd goal. Just because Liverpool might be a bit boozy from the title celebrations. I don't know. I just think Tell is a good player. Like, he's a good footballer, Tell. So I wouldn't be surprised if he got one. So I put him in just as a sort of free waiver. And then I've got Manetzi as a little punt because not many people have got him. He could do well against Leicester. McAllister, Salah. Salah was one I had on day one, so that was really nice. And then Njai. And so he's going to be the other player I think scores. So I'm going to go Chelsea 1, Everton 2 as my prediction with goals from Jake O'Brien, Illiman and Njai. And then I think there'll be a late consolation scored for Chelsea. Now, this is the bench for my for my draft team. I benched Areola because I just do not trust West Ham defensively. Genuinely do not. I think Brighton score a few there. And then Onuachu, if one of my players doesn't play, Onuachu might get something against Fulham. Fulkrug, I just don't rate West Ham, so I've benched Fulkrug. And then I've got Ruben Diaz. Just he's blanking, but he could double if Man City beat Forest, so he's there for the week after. So funnily enough, in my head-to-head this week, I'm actually in a mini league with some other FPL managers. So Trophy FPL Mo, brilliant content on his channel. I'm in a bit of a title race with him alongside Jay, who's a FPL Gunnosaurus. Now, it's not looking good at the moment because at this point in time, I don't know how he's done it, but he's got more head-to-head wins, Jay, than me this season. Even though when it comes to overall points, as you can see here, I'm way above everyone else. But yeah, I don't know. It's weird. It is a weird one. I don't know why that is. I think I just got very, very unlucky with my head-to-head games this season. I think that's ultimately the reality of it. But I guess if any Chelsea player did score, I wouldn't mind if it was Cucurella. Because I do rate Cucurella as an option as a player. So fair enough, Cucurella. What was I going to say? I was going to say something. Oh yeah. So the thing about this head-to-head is I need Jay to lose this week. And I've had a look at the fixtures in the draft. So Jay this week is playing against FPL Dino. Now, Dino's team from last week was not great because he had, I'm not going to look at his 34 yet, but he had João Pedro who got sent off. He had Brennan Johnson who got a 1-pointer. He has got Bruno. So Bruno Fernandes, if he has a masterclass, that would be nice. He's got Evan Nilsson, who I like. but he's got a lot of blankers. Like he's got Evan Nilsson. He's got Martinelli, Eze, Timber, Munoz, and Martinez, and Kelleher, who are all not going to play. So I'm a bit worried if FPL Gunnosaurus wins this, because FPL Dino, it's Gunnosaurus and Dino, it's quite dinosaur themes. But yeah, I'm a bit worried that Dino wouldn't have changed much here. And if that's the case, then we're in the mud, because we need Dino to win. We need Dino to beat Jay and give me a chance to close the gap. So let's look at Dino's team just to make sure. Has he made any changes? Probably not. Oh, my days. So he has brought in Hermansen from Leicester. Why? Oh, why has he done that? He could have literally picked any goalkeeper in the league, and he's picked Hermansen. Well, no. This is the thing about draft, I guess. You can't pick any goal in the league because most of them have been taken. So I guess I can understand why Hermansen's not been taken, because Leicester have been terrible. Oh, if Hermansen has a wonder game, then I will be very happy. But I've also got Cunha and Aitnouri, so in my own team. So yeah, will be interesting. What we need actually is Strand Larsen to take a penalty, Cunha to score, and Hermansen to save the Strand Larsen penalty. That would be lovely. But fair enough. He's gone with Hermansen. The back line, he's gone Konate, which, to be fair, you know, Spurs, the bullet header might happen. Konate. Trippier, not a bad pick. And then Fabian Schär. Gotta hope that Fabian Schär plays. Really do. Because if Ipswich do keep a clean, if Newcastle do keep a clean sheet against Ipswich, then yeah, Dino's team could be cooking. It really could. So even though I've not gone with it, at least there will be an upside of Newcastle getting a clean sheet. The midfield, not bad. Not bad. I like the Matoma pick. That's a really nice one, because I think Brighton do score a few against West Ham. Murphy's a great pick. Fernandez is interesting. Obviously, he's on pens, but United are terrible. So all they need to do is win a pen, and that's fine. Brennan Johnson, though, I don't know. Spurs are just terrible, aren't they? They might just not score against Liverpool, in which case it would be good for my Trent clean sheet. But I don't think Brennan Johnson does anything. But we'll see. We'll see. And he didn't take out Pedro. Right, that's a problem. Oh, he didn't take out Pedro, man. So he's down to 10 players. And that's assuming Solanke will play, which I think he will. But what's his minutes been like recently, Solanke? I don't think they've been great. Yeah, he played 23 against Forest. So he's coming back, Solanke. So maybe he does play Liverpool, but don't know. So yeah, not ideal that. We're down to 10 players and he's got no one coming off the bench for Pedro. So yeah, the odds are against me. This week. I need Bruno, Murphy, Matoma, and Evan Nilsson to all have masterclasses. We will see. But more importantly than that, let's look at Jay's team he's got this week. Oh, sorry, I've looked at the wrong team. By the way, this is my other draft team, because I'm also in a league with my family. And the title race is a bit further away in that one. I don't know how, but Sam has had an amazing draft season. So just got to say fair play. But the crucial game is this week, because I'm playing Sam. So I need to beat him. This is the team he's gone for. Sells in goal. He's got Trent. And he's still got Haaland. So at least he'll be down to 10 players. But he has got Mbumo. And he has got Wood, who I don't have in FPL. Oh, that could be painful, man. He's got a lot of good players there. So, yeah, interesting. This is the team I've gone for. Kepa in goal. Cucurella, who I think has got a bit of attacking upside. So I don't mind him at all. I've also gone for Aitnouri, which is nice. Kepa in goal. Robinson. If Robinson plays more minutes, he could be a decent shout. Sharda is in there as a Brentford attacker, maybe to do something. I've got Cliver as well. Jota is a punt. I know it's a punt, but there might be a chance Jota starts, maybe. And Spurs are terrible, so if Jota could do something, that'd be nice. Semenyo, Barnes. Barnes might not play, but again, it's a punt, so I might as well. And then Evan Nilsson and Cunha looks pretty good. And then Williams is on the bench if Jota doesn't play. So, yeah, looks pretty strong. So hopefully, if I can win that, I'll claw him back a little bit. I mean, it's still pretty hard to see me winning this league, but you never know. But also, right behind me in the other league. So if I look at the FPL Content Creators League again and see the teams right behind me, Trophy Mo is right behind me. Like he is on my breathing down my neck, basically. I mean, Amma is not far away either, as is Dylan. But the thing is, this week is that Dylan is playing against Jay. Oh, sorry, no, Dylan is playing Sim. No, my bad. So Dylan's playing Sim. So actually, I want Sim to beat Dylan because Dylan's quite close to me. Amma is playing against Mo. So yeah, that's not ideal. What I need is a draw there, really. I need a draw because I back myself to win against whoever I'm playing, Luco. I back myself. So if that Mo game against Amma could be a draw, then that would really, really, really help me out, like genuinely. So this is the team I've got. I've shown you it already, I think, but Ramsdale, O'Brien, blah, 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 blah. But crucially, this is the team I'm up against in game week 34. It's Luco's team. Now, funnily enough, we got a group chat. He actually showed me his team, which I'm amazed by. Like, fair enough. So it meant I basically brought in some players to try and block him, which I know, Jose Mourinho. But I then also said to him, thanks for sharing his team. And I probably shouldn't have said that. I should have just said nothing because now he's probably changed some players. So Kepa's in goal for him, which is pretty good, to be fair. Agbadu, yeah, could get a clean sheet. Fair enough. Trent is very good. Fair enough. Midfield wise, I think I'm going to destroy him this week. Diaz is good. Fair enough. But the other two, Bruno is not going to get anything, surely. And Madueke, come on. The front three, though, is where it could all change. Because if Raul Jimenez does have a good game and Jackson does something, I'm in the mud. I'm simply in the mud. Because Cunha is definitely going to do, I think, at least the return. And then it's Jackson or Raul. I mean, they're both a bit of a troll, to be honest. So I need them to both blank. Because you've not got anyone coming in. So if, like, so let's say Madueke was benched today, actually the lineups might be out soon because there's about an hour to deadline. An hour to the kickoff because it's a 12:30 game. So maybe, just maybe, Madueke could get benched, please. But that's the team I'm up against. So I back myself with that team. I've got Salah, I've got Milenkovic. I mean, yeah, the team is not great on paper when you read it out. But if Menetzi can really haul against Leicester, which he could well do, then I think we got a chance. We've definitely got a chance. We just need Jay to just stop winning, man. I don't know how he does it. So this week, Jay is up against Dino, as I said. This is Jay's team. So he's got a few blankers there, to be fair. I need Strand Larson to stay quiet. I need Cliver, even though I've got him in my own team, to stay quiet. He's got a lot of blankers there, to be fair. Actually, he doesn't have many players. Livramento, though, will come in for him, as will Szoboszlai. So again, Livramento's to stay quiet, please, because I didn't go with him on the free hit. And if Wolves do have to concede, then Jose Sarr's points will be out of the bin. So yeah, look, at the end of the day, there's a good chance that I can win that game, that head-to-head. The mini league with Sam, I think I might just have to roll over and say fair play, Sam. But let's go back to the predictions because that's what we started on. So whilst Cucurella would be good, it would also be bad in a way because I've realised that Jay actually has Cucurella in his team, which is not Jay. Basically, I think whoever I'm playing in the other team, was it Mo? Maybe had Cucurella. No, this is Mo's team. Not a great team, to be honest, with Curtis Jones and Semenyo and Darwin. Yeah, no, never in doubt. But basically, yeah, what I'm getting at is let's get back to the predictions before my computer runs out of battery, which would be a bad thing. So yeah, 2-1 Chelsea for most people, probably is the prediction, but I'm going for 2-1 Everton. Come on, Jake O'Brien. Come on, Njai. Brighton West Ham then is up next. It's Truman. Yeah, Luco, Truman. Yeah. Luke Brown. Fair enough. Brighton West Ham. What are we saying for this game? I think this is a tough one to call, you know. I really do think it is. See the lineups. Is the lineups are out? Are they out? Oh, please tell me that Madueke is on the bench. Please. Okay, let's just, before we get to Brighton West Ham, let's just have a quick look at the Chelsea lineups. It's Truman. It's an L. Oh, you are that is Truman. Oh, hi Luke. Nice to see you, mate. Uh, is an L in draft for Mr. Hollis today, mate. I'm afraid it's an L for Mr. Truman. Mr. Brown, sorry, mate. You're taking the L, mate. Just got to take it. Anyway, so Chelsea's team news. Surely it's out by now, you'd think. I don't know. Will it be out? Will it be out by now? Maybe. Sorry, we seem to be glitching a little bit, so apologies for this. I think it's been the computer's just getting a little bit tired from this streaming. Here we go. Lineup. Lineup is in. So Chelsea lineup. Madueke starts. Damn it. Damn it. Okay, fine. Whatever. Patterson is playing. Interesting. So no Michael Keane. Wow. Decore is starting, as is Njai. All right. Fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah, fair play. So that's the team. Let's stop sharing now. We've seen the lineup. We will see with that because I'm not sure what to make of that. I mean, yeah, I guess it's expected, to be fair. It is expected. Well, let's get our predictions. Let's finish off our predictions then. So, what are we saying for the remaining games then, people? Get it in the chat. Get it down in the chat. I'm going to go Brighton, West Ham. West Ham 1 is what I'm going to predict. What are you predicting in the chat? Brighton, West Ham. Interesting. Yeah, I could see that happening. And yeah, what was it? 2-2. So Chris has gone for 2-2 in the Brighton game. That's not a bad prediction. I've gone 3-1. How do I see this game going? I mean, it's got to be a clean sheet, isn't it? For Pope. Yeah, I'll go. I should have probably gone for double Newcastle defense, but I'll go 3-0 Newcastle. I'll go for goals from Murphy, 2 for Murphy, and 1 from Isak. That would be lovely. Not related to my FPL team at all. Southampton, Fulham now. What are we saying in the chat for Newcastle, Ipswich, though? Luke has gone Brighton 2-1. Interesting. What do the rest of our predictions? I'm just going to get my charger. Bear with. Yeah, so we're just going to quickly charge this before we die. That would be a real shame to lose you people. So Luke has gone 2-1 Brighton. Interesting. Yeah, that's a good prediction, to be fair. That's not a bad prediction at all. I could see that happening too. I think Brighton win. I just think West Ham are they're just so bad. So I'm sorry, West Ham fans, but they're 17th in the league. Like, I just think they're terrible. Sorry, we'll just make the light a bit better. Yeah, so Brighton, I've gone 3-1 Brighton. Then I'll say 3-0 Newcastle. So get in the chat. What are you saying, Newcastle, Ipswich? I think surely Newcastle destroy them. A big fan of Danny Welbeck. Thank you, Luke. Yeah, I've gone for him in my front three. Brighton have got enough to score, but missing Van Hecke will cost them a goal. Yeah, well, I think even if Van Hecke was playing, Luke, to be honest, Brighton concede a lot of goals. And I know that West Ham have been bad, but I wouldn't be surprised if West Ham did score at least one, but maybe not much more than that, just because of how they've just been so uninspiring recently. West Ham, like they didn't score more than one goal against Southampton at home. I mean, it's not good. And as I was saying earlier, if Ipswich, it's a big if, but if Ipswich win all their remaining games and West Ham lose all theirs, West Ham are down. West Ham are in the Championship if that happens. It won't happen, but just saying. So that's just a reflection of how poor West Ham have been. But yeah, 3-0 Newcastle Ipswich is my prediction. I just think Ipswich without Delap, are they going to score? They could. Like Hurst is good. But without Delap, yeah, maybe a Newcastle clean sheet. It's very possible. Okay. Any more predictions in the chat for Newcastle Ipswich? I'll be interested to know what you guys think about that game because that That, or I think, well, it depends what people have got in FPL. I think it does really. People will say, "Oh, if you've got triple Newcastle defense, you're going to predict a 1-0. If you've got triple Newcastle attack, you're going to say 2-2." So, well, not 2-2, but 2-1 maybe. But yeah, Newcastle. I mean, defensively, Newcastle have been a little bit dodgy recently because they conceded to Man United, which is not the best of things, and then they conceded 5 to City. Oh, sorry, I'm thinking of Palace. Ignore me. They conceded to Man United, and then they conceded 4 to Villa. It wasn't great. It wasn't great, but this is the sort of game that could get their defensive confidence back up. So, yeah, they could well get a clean sheet. And I know a lot of people have said, "Oh, Pope is a waste for Newcastle pick," but are you really confident in any of the Newcastle players in defence? Because for me, there was doubts over Share. Livramento's got 1 assist all season. Trippier's get 1 assist all season. Like, I just, if Share was 100% going to start, then I'd have got him in because he gets enough goals. He gets enough goals to justify it. But I just think the attacking threat, there is some for Livramento. Not so much for Trippier, but he's on set pieces, to be fair. I don't know. I just think the way I've gone with it with Pope, like I just look at the other goalies and I think, is there one better than Pope? I don't think there is, because I just think Newcastle have got the best odds of a clean sheet. So by that logic, go for their goalie. But we'll see. We'll see. Nothing from the Newcastle game. Fair enough. We'll move on then. Southampton, Fulham. Now, what do I think will happen here? I've got Sessegnon, so I have to predict a 1-0 Fulham, I guess. Luke's gone for 4-1 Newcastle. Yeah, you've clearly not gone for double Newcastle defense then. He's hoping for a Trippier assist. Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah, that's the thing. Trippier could get an assist or Livramento. But this is the thing. This is why I've gone with Pope. Is I think there's a chance Ipswich probably don't score. But even if they do, Pope could save a pen or he could get save points. And that's why I think there's upside with Livramento, because even if Newcastle do concede, as we've seen recently, Livramento has been getting attacking returns. Trippier, yeah, it's been a while since he's been a really great FPL pick, Trippier, but he's got it on his day. You know, on his day, he is good. Southampton, Fulham, though, I'm going to go. I think Fulham are going to keep a clean sheet. So, you know, even if Sessegnon, the thing is, if Sessegnon is subbed on, let's imagine this, right? We get the team news for the 3:00 game. Sessegnon is benched and then subbed on for Wilson, who gets injured on the 30th minute. In that scenario, if Southampton don't score, then Sessegnon would get the clean sheet. Like, that would be amazing, but you never know. But Southampton do tend to just get the odd jammy goal at home. This is the thing. Maybe we predict a Fulham. You know what I'm going to do? Because other people have got Leno, and I don't want Leno to get points. So what I'm going to predict is I'm going to go 2-1 Fulham. I'm going to go 2-1 Fulham, but Sessegnon to come off before 65, just before 65, bank the clean sheet. He's already got a goal. Lovely stuff. That would be great. But it's a very specific prediction, I know. But I'll go 2-1 for them. I just think Southampton do get a goal. I've got a feeling. But we'll see. We'll see. What else are you guys saying? Yeah, you've gone 2-1 Fulham, same as me, Christopher. So fair play. I don't think Southampton win this. I mean, surely not. Surely not. Wolves Leicester then. Wolves Leicester is tough because I think. Look, I know we're hyping up Ait-Nouri, and there is good reason to because of how attacking he is, but it's not impossible that Leicester score. They scored twice against Brighton. Like, it'd be funny if they just do the same. Vardy is a legend. Let's not forget. He's leaving at the end of the season. He's an absolute FPL legend. Could he wipe out the double Wolves clean sheets for some people? I think he could. I genuinely think he could. He's going to be angry, right? Leicester have got relegated. It's the first game they're going to play since their relegation. He's put out a message on social media saying, sorry to the Leicester fans. He's put out a message on social media saying, I'm going to leave at the end of the season. Vardy scoring in this game, surely is written in the stars. I think Leicester do score. I'm going to go 3-1 Wolves, though. I think Wolves will destroy Leicester eventually. But could Vardy score? I think he could. Wolves goals, though, all 3 of them will be coming from Mateus Cunha. So thank you very much. Bournemouth, Man United then. I don't know. I think Bournemouth win. I've seen a lot of people say Bournemouth are on the beach. I think that is crazy because they've got European football to fight for. Like, you've got to remember, because of the 5th Champions League spot, there is a chance that the teams that finish 9th and 10th can get Conference League. And that includes the likes of Bournemouth, the likes of Brighton, the likes of Fulham. And yes, Bournemouth have been poor recently, but United have been even worse. Man United are all about that Europa League game. So a clean sheet could happen. But after benching Kirkes, I don't want it to happen. So I'll go 2-1 Bournemouth. Bournemouth win. A couple of goals for Clivert. But I think it might be tighter than people are making out, potentially. It's just, will Bruno turn up? Because if Bruno doesn't turn up and score a goal for Man United, United are not scoring. Tell me who's scoring from that Man United team. They are so bad in attack. It's quite laughable, really. So, yeah, Bournemouth are not on the beach. I'll go 2-0. Yeah, that's a good prediction, Christopher. 100%. I think it was Nick Triggerlips that said he thought Bournemouth were on the beach. I just don't agree with that. I think it's just a lazy comparison. Just because Bournemouth are literally on the beach in terms of their location. No, in all seriousness, I think Bournemouth got still a lot to play for. Now, the big one for our team. We tripled up on Liverpool. We went for Trent in the end. Liverpool, Tottenham. Salah captain, Luis Diaz and Trent. We've got to go for a 5-0. You regret not having any Bournemouth. Yeah, this is what I was saying, Luke. I think Bournemouth were criminally underpicked on free hit teams. Definitely an attacker. Maybe not so much with defenders, because I do see United scoring, to be honest. But someone like a Cliver or an Evan Ilson, I think, is a great pick this week. But with Liverpool, surely they score at least 3. Surely. Tottenham are so bad defensively. I don't want to hear it. They conceded 6 goals in the reverse game, and that was at Tottenham. Just think about what it will be at Anfield when Liverpool have got this game to win the league. Like, could it be double digits? No, it won't be. But Luis Diaz is your captain. Wow. Fair play. You know what, Luke? I salute you, mate. I salute you for that, because that is a big balls call, as Andrew from FPL Nightmare would say. Fair play. I mean, I would be worried for you that he comes off around 65, but he might have done the damage by then. That's why I've got him, because I think he will start and probably get at least 60 minutes. But yeah, interesting. We just got to pray to the football gods. We've got to pray to the football gods that Trent starts, because if he doesn't, we are finished. We are finished. If you let go of FOMO, surely we all captain the former Liverpool player who's returned in 5 of the last 6. Yeah, that's true. Diaz is in form. He's in better form than Salah. But just the effective ownership of Salah is going to be insane. Like, do you really want to go against that when Liverpool could win the league and Spurs? This just feels like a game that's better suited, I think, for Salah than it is for Diaz. Because Salah's going to be up against... Who is it? Their left back. I can't even think who it is. Let me check who Tottenham's left back is. Is it Udogie? Potentially. I mean, they've got makeshift defenders. I mean, they'll rotate Spurs. Surely they'll rotate. So it could be anyone that Salah's up against. So this is the thing. I don't know. Big prayers. Yeah, we all have big prayers, Luke. 100%. Chris has gone 4-0 Liverpool. They will batter them. Yeah, I think they will. I'm gonna agree with you, Chris. I don't think they're gonna score 5, but I'll go 4-0 Liverpool. Just as they did, actually, funnily enough, in the Carabao Cup. 4-0 in the semi-final. So yeah, I'm agreed with that one, people. Okay. And then the final game to predict before I leave you lovely lot, to the rest of your day, is Nottingham Forest Brentford on the Thursday. Interesting, because Forest will have played at least 90 minutes. It could be more against City on Sunday. Brentford will have had a full rest. I wouldn't be surprised if Brentford won that. But with me not picking Mbuma, I really don't want him to do anything. Although I think Brentford score a couple. I think they do. I'm gonna go 2-2. I mean, both sides can score goals. We know this. But both defensively recently have not been great. So fair play, Luke. Fair play for the DS captaincy. I hope that does well for you. But I'm gonna go 2-2. I'm gonna go 2-2. I think I need Crystal blank, and I need Chris Wood to blank, and I need Mbeumo to blank. Which, being on penalties in a 2-2, that feels pretty hard for me to get lucky with that one. But you never know. Brentford goals both from Sharda, because I've got him in draft. That'd be nice. And then the Forest goals both from Milenkovic, maybe. Milenkovic double, that would be nice. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure about that, but yeah, it will be interesting. Drop a like. Yeah, thank you, Shani. Appreciate that, mate. Yeah, if you've enjoyed the stream today, which I certainly have, but I hope you guys have as well, you lads and ladies. Thanks as well for all the lovely people that have come on, the likes of Andrew, the likes of Gary, the likes of FPL Pickle earlier on in the stream. We've had Luke, we've had Christopher, we've had Shani, who's just come on. We've had also FPL. Also, check out FPL. FPL manager, absolute legend. FPL rookie. Is it FPL rookie? No, sorry. FPL hippie. My God, my bad. There's too many hookies and rippies, right? Forget it. But FPL hippie, if you don't follow him on Blue Sky, what are you doing? Because FPL hippie puts out the most amazing like face merges on like iconic photos or face swaps. Honestly, it is so good. Talking of face swaps, check out my Twitter because a few weeks back, well, it's quite a few weeks now, actually. You know what I should probably do? I should probably post my team on Twitter. I've still not done that yet. I've been too engrossed by the deadline stream. It's amazing how much Andrew is still going on about Joel Linton, mate. He's not scored since game week 19. He's not scored since game week 19. I mean, he's not scored since game week 19. I'm not feeling it. Right. What was I going to say? I was going to say something. I've lost my train of thought. Oh, yeah. I was going to post my team. Let's just see what FPL Twitter is saying at the moment because the deadline's over. Doesn't really matter. Let's just present my screen. And we will go soon, people. I know it's been a long one. Over 2.5 hours. But bear with a sec whilst I just see what's happening on X at the moment. So at the moment on X, this is what it's looking like. This is Craig's team from Man on Podcast. Love them, the Man on Podcast. So he's gone Sessegnon and he's benched Virgil. Ooh, interesting. And he's benched Kirkes as well. That makes me feel better about benching Kirkes. That does, to be fair. A lot of people have gone Sessegnon. Love to see it. No Cunha for Pickle. Yeah, she committed to it. Fair play. Fair play. She's gone with Barnes as well. Not sure about Barnes. I mean, I think Murphy gets more minutes, to be honest. But we'll see. Mira, massive member of the community. Loved her video on, was it Friday night or Thursday night? Really, really good stuff from Mira. She's having an amazing season in the top 10K. This is her team. So she's got Kepa in goal, Kukurea, Ait-Nouri, and Sessegnon. So I like the Sessegnon pick and the Ait-Nouri, and I don't mind the Kepa pick, to be fair. But Kukurea, I don't know. Barnes in the midfield, interesting. So she's gone no Newcastle defence. I don't know. I think that's risky without Delap in the team, and she's gone Jimenez. It's a good team. Like, fair enough. She's got 4 pen takers, not 5, but she's got 4 pen takers, and she's got Kukurea. So fair enough. Something a little bit different. Massive detour from the first few drafts. Yeah, I think this is the thing. Like with free hit, you got to live a little. You got to go for a few punts. 3 assists in 4 games for Joel Linton. Mate, I'm not going to get Joel Linton when I could get more goals from a Murphy or a Barnes. Colm's in the chat. Yes, Colm, legend. What are people saying about the score predictions? So just to reiterate, I'll go over them again. I've gone for Chelsea 1, Everton 2, Brighton 3, West Ham 1, Newcastle 3, Ipswich 0. Southampton 1, Fulham 2, Wolves 3, Leicester 1, Bournemouth 2, Man United 1. I know there's a lot of no clean sheets here, but it's purely FPL reasons. Bournemouth 2, Man United 1, Liverpool 4, Spurs 0, and Forest 2, Brentford 2. There haven't been many clean sheets recently this season. So, having only a clean sheet from Newcastle and Liverpool would probably feel about right based on how this season's going. What are we saying in the chat? Chris has gone 4-1 Wolves. Wow. Yeah, I mean, 4 goals for Wolves. How often has it been since they've scored 4? What else have we got? So with Luke's thing about Diaz, he said 5 of the last 6 matches, he's got 2 goals, 3 assists, and 8 bonus. Yeah, Diaz was locked for me. I think he was absolutely locked. Salah's never scored a goal in open. Oh no, not never, but hasn't scored a goal in an open play in all comps since game week 26. Is that right? Is that legitimate? Yeah, but he scored against Southampton, didn't he? I know it's 2 penalties, but he still has to put those away, and they were brilliant penalties. So, yeah, I mean, Salah's going to come good. He is always going to come good. Chris has said 4-0 as well. Liverpool, yep. Luke, big prayers, chasing my mini league, big balls this game week. My hand is forced. Chris says Spence would play. Oh, okay. Yeah, Jed Spence. To be fair, he is quite good defensively, this Jed Spence, but Salah's the best in the league, so that's not a problem. Chris has gone 2-1 Brentford. Interesting. I don't think if any side wins it, I think it'll be Forest, personally, but we'll see. But yes, I really appreciate that comment, Shani. Tell these freeloaders to drop a like, mate. You're still here after the deadline. That alone deserves love. Thank you, mate. No, you know what? It's one of those things, like, I've got nothing on today. I can literally just enjoy the festival of football. And if I had something on, I might have left early. But I thought let's just do some predictions, have a little bit of fun. I know that Raptor, we're talking about FPL Pickle, Raptor's girlfriend, and Raptor does this a little bit where he does after this deadline stream. It's quite fun, to be honest. I think it's quite fun. 1-1 boring games let us down on Thursday night. Yeah, I think it could well be, Luke. Honestly, I think it could well be like a 1-1 where sort of nothing interesting happens. Colm's predictions then. What's he gone for? He's gone for Chelsea 1, Everton 0. Yeah, fair enough. I just got to hope that 1 goal isn't from Palmer. Brighton 1, West Ham 1 is what he's gone for. Yeah, good prediction. 3-1 Newcastle. Nah, Newcastle getting a clean sheet, mate. Pope's getting a clean sheet. But yeah, if it is 3-1, then it's a Pope pen save, hopefully. And then a 3 goals from Murphy. Southampton 1, Fulham 1. So you've gone for a Southampton draw. Colm is a Fulham fan, by the way, people. So interesting. Not as confident as some of the other people out there with their predictions. Maybe that doesn't spell good news for Sessegnon, but maybe he might come off before the goal. Wolves 2, Leicester 1. Yeah, I've gone 3-1 Wolves, Colm, but 2-1 is probably fair. You've gone same as me for Bournemouth, Man United, 2-1 Bournemouth, 5-2 Liverpool. Wow. Okay. Personally, I think Liverpool do keep a clean sheet, though. I've been sort of convinced about that just because Spurs, I know they scored against Forest, but they are pretty bad, Spurs. But 5 goals for Liverpool, that would be an amazing way to win the league. And then Forest, Brentford, 1-1. Yeah, that's a fair point. Fair prediction. Liking and subscribing, Luke. Oh, you absolute legend. Thank you, Luke. I appreciate that. Have a good game week. Yeah, you too, mate. But a terrible draft score. No, I'm going to beat you. I'm going to beat you this week. I'm telling you. Wolves did get 4 against Spurs. Oh, yeah, that's a good point, actually. I hadn't thought of that. Chris. Good point. But that was Spurs. Like, I'm not being funny. I think Leicester defensively might be better than Tottenham. Let's be honest. Coleman said, did you see the Fulham picture promoting the game with Willian? Oh, no. Don't say that, Colm. There's no need for that. Hopefully those on Iwobi and Sessegnon, it was just his turn for the photo. Oh, no. Please. There's no need for that. Luke has said, Southampton penalties. Everyone scores past Southampton. That's why people have Sessegnon and Rao. Yeah, true. But Salah's a better player than Jimenez. I don't think we can just pick Jimenez on the basis that Southampton concede penalties. No, it's because I don't rate Jimenez as an FPL pick. I rate Salah as an FPL pick. So if Salah doesn't play well against Spurs, it doesn't matter because he's going to score the penalties. Whereas maybe someone like Eze doesn't necessarily always score his penalties. So I think the best pen takers in the league are Salah and Pedro. I know Pedro did get sent off, but that was, just silly from him. But point being is, there aren't but many better than Salah and Pedro in the league at pens. They are ridiculous, like actually ridiculous at how many they score. So yeah, no, we have to hope there's a few pens in this game week because we've gone for 5 of them. I just think you might as well, like if it's a choice between an Evanilson or a Welbeck, I'd rather go for the pen taker, and the same being for like an Mbumo. Although Mbumo is on pens, but I think the fixture's better for Kluivert, so I've gone for it in that respect. But we will see. We will see how it turns out. I need to actually post my team because people on Twitter are probably thinking, "Where the hell is your team, bro?" Like, yeah, let's actually post my team. Let's see what else Twitter is saying. Double Chelsea defense. I cannot believe it, people. People are actually trying to get Payne. Alisson. Wow. And he's gone without Cunha. Mate, that is interesting. I wouldn't have picked Alisson. Alisson's ceiling has got to be pretty low because Spurs, I mean, yeah, to be fair, Spurs do have shots. They do have shots, but I prefer risking it with Trent than risking it with Alisson. I'm not too keen on the Alisson pick, I'll be honest. But fair enough, FPL mate, Dan, he wants to do what he wants to do. But going without Cunha, like, that could be really risky. Is there any team news for the 3:00 games, Cole? I don't think so. No. Only the Chelsea game is the Chelsea lineup is out. We went through it earlier, but if you missed it, we can quickly show you again. So Chelsea's team, I mean, it's kind of expected really that Palmer is starting, but Lavia is also starting, which I guess is good for Palmer owners because it means that Palmer can kind of play in his normal position. Neto starting as well. So, I don't know. I wonder if anyone took a punt on Neto, maybe, or Jackson. I'm not sure about that. But yeah, Sancho's on the bench, Tossin's on the bench, and Jorgensen as well. So yeah, I mean, they could score a few goals today, Chelsea, but I just don't trust them. I just do not trust them. Everton, on the other hand, yes, Tarkowski's out injured, but they are just a great defense. They are just a great defense. So this is the Everton team. So Mikalenko, for Alex Volo is bound to score a brace, isn't he? But Beto's up front, so he's back in Beto. I would just love a little cheeky Njai goal, really. A cheeky little Njai goal. I do really like Iliman Njai. He's just a bit of a legend. But who is everyone's first sub? I'd love a surprise popular bombing this game week. What do you mean by that? A popular bench player getting people points on people's benches. Yeah, I'm not quite sure what you mean, mate. I'll be honest. But the site's yet to update, so I was just going to see if I could see, but no, I can't. Right, we probably need to go soon. I'll be honest, because we've gone longer than 2 1/4, 3/4 hours. So no, look, appreciate everyone that's been on. It's been great fun. I should probably post my team now though on my Twitter account and on my Blue Sky. Tweet from Focal. Let's see what he said. He's gone. Real ones went Toffolo that week. Yes, Toffolo. What a legend. Actually, he might be playing for Forest against Brentford, mightn't he? Because I don't know if Alex Moreno will play. I think it might be Toffolo. Luke Coleman said, no bench for me as I played free hit last game week. Okay, interesting. Eze to Mbumo was my move to get 11. Fair enough, Cole. That's a good transfer. It's a good transfer. But I think free hitters they had the opportunity to go against players like Mbumo, players like Palmer, players like Jimenez. Well, not Jimenez, because a lot of people have gone for Jimenez, but I went against Rao with I think I probably should have just been a bit more of a grown up about it because I just throw my toys out of the pram sometimes because Rao trolled me earlier in the season, game week 29, just transferred him in, and Muniz was the one that got the points. And I know Muniz now not going to be available, but like, could Vinicius come on for that game? Because it's only Southampton. It's only Southampton. Potentially, but we'll see. So yeah, that's the team. That's the game week. I was hoping to get the FPL website updated, but it doesn't seem to want to do that. So I can't show you my team again. But you know, if you missed my final free hit team, then you can play this back, of course, and check it out. But yeah, this is where I'm going to let you guys go. Have a great game week 34, a great blank game week. Good luck, everyone on free hit, and everyone not on free hit. I hope you have the worst game week of all time. But no, in all seriousness, have a great game week, everyone. Thanks again for the support on the channel recently. It's been much appreciated, and it's been great fun. So yeah, thanks again. Vinicius comes on for 20 minutes and gets sent off. Could happen. It could happen. But again, we'll see you in a future video, hopefully. But as I said earlier, don't forget the Form is Temporary podcast on Spotify, which has been a great fun this season, our second season. It is going to have our last game week preview for a little bit. We're going to go on a little break, probably over pre-season. We'll come back at some point, probably, but not sure if we will come back. We'll have to decide, because Chris and myself are going to be graduating in September from uni. So we're going to have less time on our hands, basically. We're going to be looking for a job, and it could be a 9 to 5 potentially. So, yeah. So basically, stay tuned. Spotify, Form is Temporary podcast. The Game Week 38 preview will be coming out probably in the midweek before that Sunday Game Week 38 round of games, because yeah, the deadline will be obviously on Sunday for the final game week. So it will most likely come out on the Wednesday, just so it's a bit ahead of time, because it's the final game week, or it might even be still the Thursday. Actually, I might record it on the Wednesday on second thoughts, and then put it out on the Thursday morning like usual. So it'll be the Thursday, try and work this out in my head, the 22nd, I think it is, Thursday the 22nd of May. Stay tuned for that with Andy Martin, FPL Tactician. That'll be great fun, and FPL Lord of Siphius. And then we will have our season review pod with the legendary Praz from FPL Wire. Yeah, that's going to be a really good fun one as well. And we're hoping for that last pod, Form is Temporary, to get on as well the legendary FPL Northern. He's been sort of really good this season. You know, potentially could win the whole game. I think he's 7th or 8th in the world at the moment. So I'm cheering him on. He's a top guy in the community, FPL Northern. So we're hoping to get him on the final pod of the season, reviewing the season with Praz, with myself, with Chris. It'll be great fun. So yeah, do stay tuned for that. But until then, don't go changing, as Spencer FC would say. Smash a like on the video, and as Colm says, leave a message in the chat after this live stream is finished. It really helps out on the stream and helps the algorithm, as they say. But yeah, do smash a like on it, and thanks for watching, everyone. Have a good game week 34. Come on, FPL game week 34. Do not be like game week 33. Do not be a disappointment, and let's hope with Salah captain, triple Liverpool, we get points and they absolutely demolish Tottenham Hotspur. See you next time, everyone. Bye-bye.